Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? We are the United Nerds coming at you from WLJS. How are you doing tonight? Alright, I am Kyle Holland, joined as always by the ever-lovely Drew Moore.
Thank you.
And, whoa,
Whoa, who is
we're
this?
missing somebody. Oh, geez, Brian, where'd you go?
Brian. Brian!
He's not here.
Where's Brian?
I took care of that.
Did you?
Well, wait, who are you?
Who are you?
Wait, you seem familiar.
Wait, he's been here before.
I've been here once before.
He's the
everybody.
man of the mystery.
Yeah. It's Eric Curtis.
Eric Curtis, ladies and gentlemen.
You'll remember me from the video game episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bet you don't remember that, do you?
I bet you do. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't believe we do hope so. All right. Well, hey, yes. Eric Curtis is back joining us once again.
Hello, everybody. What's up?
Yes. Why don't you tell him what podcast you're on, Eric?
I do a podcast with a friend of mine, Mr. Ben. We do Warped Rationale. Find us on SoundCloud.com/Warped Rationale or YouTube.com. Just look up Warped Rationale.
Yeah.
We do a podcast about what if questions. It's really funny. Give us a listen.
Yes.
What if we give you a listen?
Then I'll be happy.
Let me just tell you right now.
Simple
Drew,
answer.
I've heard 2 of their episodes so far. Do not miss this. It is really funny stuff. I really did enjoy it.
What if, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, it's what if questions, and it's we try to keep a 20-minute format, so it's not going to take up a whole chunk of your day.
Oh yeah.
And we try to release episodes every Thursday. Only 6 episodes out so far, so we're working our way up there. But yeah, that's my plug. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Kind of forgot to make that plug last time.
Well, last time we weren't really established either, though.
Yeah.
So to be fair,
We got our groove now. We got our mojo.
we got our groove, man.
We're like Stella.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're
But
gonna
anyway,
do that.
that's my plug. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely, man.
Sad Brian couldn't be here today, but
Very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
he's somewhere gonna get ready for a Halo midnight launch.
Halo Midnight Launch.
Yeah. You know he's going to be there.
So yeah,
All right. Well, anyway. So, as always, for those of you who've been keeping up with our social media, you'll know what tonight's topic is. Drew.
We are going to be talking about for this week's top 10. We decided to split up into 2 lists of 5 and make it a top 10 combined. So we're going to be talking about our top 5 horror movies and our top 5 movie monsters.
Well, not necessarily movie.
Well, movie monsters,
Just
but
monsters,
monsters.
just
Monsters
Yeah.
in general.
Right.
Whether
Monsters
it
in
be
general.
from, like you said, movies. It could be from a video game. It could be
Yes.
from a literature. It could be folklore. There are no end of just monsters out there that haven't even been taken advantage of for movies or like a good media.
It's true.
Like
yeah, just monsters in general.
Just monsters
I mean,
in general.
We are the United Nerds, so there's going to be some nerdiness involved with these monsters.
Yes, there are.
So
and hey, maybe
looking
there's-
forward to it.
Maybe there's a monster you haven't heard of that you'll be given reasons to crap your pants about tonight.
Or
Who
maybe to go
knows?
look up, be
Or,
interested
yeah,
in.
Go look
you
it
know?
up.
And I'll what?
There's so much good lore out there.
Good lore.
Good lore indeed. There's so much good lore to speak of, in general. While Drew makes his bad joke that we all expect
Yes.
each and every show.
It's just one joke. After
Well, I was going to say, if y'all want to call in and tell us what some of your favorite horror movies are, or maybe your favorite horror, or maybe your favorite monsters, please do not hesitate. We would love to hear from you.
Right. The number for that, because Drew didn't say it, is 256-72-5592. Once again, that's 256-72-5592. We'd really love to hear from you guys, because maybe you've got something that we've never heard of.
Maybe so.
We'd love to hear from you. All right, well, speaking of monsters, why don't we have that be what starts us off tonight?
Okay, monsters.
Monsters.
Monster.
Okay, now this is the
Yes,
top
Space
5.
Jam throwback, yes.
We had this conversation earlier. These are in a particular order
Yes.
because this is the top 5 list.
Oh.
Unlike someone else who might have a list that...
Is not in order.
oh, man.
Is that you?
Is that you? Is that you?
How can you do a top 5? And okay, anyway, I'm not going to get off on that. All right.
Well,
Thank
Eric. Well, Eric.
Yes, Eric.
Since you are our esteemed guest tonight, how about you start us off?
Ooh,
I'll kick
esteemed.
us off with number 5. For me, is the Wendigo. The Wendigo is actually pretty relevant right now in the sense of there's a new AAA game out right now for the PlayStation 4. It's exclusive called Until Dawn.
Spoilers. by the way.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. I can't really say that, can I? Wow.
Well, just you can do your best.
Okay. Anyway, the Wendigo is a pretty awesome creature that is born from cannibalism.
Well, it's
Kinda,
kind of
sorta.
native to a lot of Native American cultures.
Yes, and it's actually depicted differently
Yeah.
in many different depictions. But it is a monster that is, I mean, just the typical word of a monster. It's terrifying. It's spirit based.
It gonna eat you.
It's gonna rip your head off,
Oh yes.
and it is gonna eat you.
Just quick heads up. This is also my number 5, so let's just both talk
Just
about
keep it
this
going.
one.
Cool,
Yeah.
sounds good. So
Yeah.
go ahead and throw your input on the old Wendigo.
I just love. To me, cannibalism is one of the most terrifying things ever.
Yes.
Like the idea of somebody eating something of their own kind. Like
Right.
to me, that is always just like sent shivers down my spine. But
Down your spine
Just give me the willies.
and give me the shrills.
Well, what's even scarier is like some of the true life incidents where cannibalism has been used to survive, like the
Donner Party. Oh, jeez. I can think of another one.
well, there was one incident, probably one of the most famous ones, of the plane crash with the football players in the Alps.
Ooh.
I can't remember.
That's interesting.
Actually, they made it into a movie. It's called Alive with Ethan Hawke. But what they had to do was they had to resort to eating the people who had died to stay alive, and they did. They did.
Yeah, so just imagine yourself being in that situation where, oh, hey, here's my buddy Terry. My buddy Terry's dead.
Yeah, man.
I need to live.
Yeah, that's even more terrifying.
That was a
to
creepy.
me.
I need to live.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. I don't know. I'm right there with you
that.
though. Cannibalism is the weirdest, the
Yeah.
absolute weirdest thing.
So, man, just eat a burger or something. Just
But yeah, that's mine and Kyle's number 5, the Wendigo.
The Wendigo.
So what about you, Mr. Drusif?
Oh, and before Drew, I
No,
really
no,
did
you're
cut
good.
you off.
No, you're good.
But Brian was supposed to send me his list on my phone, but hey, guess what? He hasn't done yet. So I guess we're not going to be reading his.
Hopefully we'll hear from him a little bit
We'll
later.
hear from him.
We'll hear from him.
And
for
maybe
sure.
we can do a quick rundown.
Yeah.
Just a quick little.
We do
Yeah.
have a couple of alternate lists that we're
Yes.
going to go over. I'm not going to go over immediately, but we will go over
Of course.
in brief. Now, sir,
No, sir.
number 5.
Talk to us about it.
My number 5 is going to be. Oh, I am sorry. I was reading off the wrong list. Haha. My number
Professional
5
to the
monster.
We love you.
We love you, buddy. Come on.
I know. Mine is the Wendell from the movie The 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas.
Now,
Okay.
explain this to me
Yes,
because
I don't think either of us have seen this movie. So.
13th Warrior, it's a Michael Crichton book, and the story is actually based on a true story, but it's a true story that's had different visions of it. But the story is these Vikings, they come and they have to travel back to their homelands because they're being terrorized by these things called the Wendell. And Antonio Banderas' character is an Arabian ambassador, and he goes along with them. And the book itself actually kind of goes into Viking lore, just kind of their different traditions and habits and whatnot. And wow, that's all I can say.
Oh yeah, Vikings were some interesting guys.
Yeah, it is a very, very entertaining movie. But the Wendell, they are actually, the scariest thing about them is you really believe they're these mythical creatures, and what they actually are men dressed up as bears. But they are so terrifying that it really scared me bad when I was younger, because it's just,
That sounds pretty anticlimactic.
well, They're very, very scary, and
So your monster is a dude dressed up as a bear?
pretty much.
I mean,
But it.
What if I just throw a sheet over myself and it's just going to scare you?
But they whittle their.
My holes out.
we're being really harsh here.
You are.
Oh, I'm
being so harsh.
I'm sorry.
But what makes the illusion work, though, is that you really do believe they're these just monsters from a different time, and you get through most of the movie, and then when you find out, it's like, oh. But until that point, you're truly terrified of these things.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Okay.
I can't really say I'm familiar with it, but
Check it out.
I would be willing to give it a shot.
yeah, no
Just
doubt.
See the movie and just see.
And like I said, the actual story behind it is very interesting because there are different what's a word for parchment? Just like old parchments and whatnot, and just different views.
Papers and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
but and Michael Crichton was actually yes,
Trees.
there you go. Yeah, but Michael Crichton was actually able to compile all this stuff and create a very entertaining story from it. So
Very cool.
That's cool.
Very
All right.
cool. Yeah.
I like it.
And I do believe Richard Donner was the guy who directed the movie.
Interesting.
Okay, so I guess that brings us to number 4, huh?
I believe it does.
I think that
Nope,
brings
John
us to
McTiernan.
number 4.
Sorry, John McTiernan was the guy who directed it.
Number 4. Okay, cool. Yeah. I will give that a shot. I guess I'll just keep going. I'll be the guy that will just come back around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were our first. So.
My number 4 is the Moonlight Wraith.
All right. So this is from Witcher, I believe.
This is from The Witcher.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's drawing off of real, I guess mythology.
Mm-hmm.
But a wraith is pretty much a spirit that has been bound to a place somehow. Something terrible has happened to it or happened with it. Mm-hmm. And it is bound to this area, and it will kill people. It will find people. But it's because it's in pain, and it wants to inflict pain on others.
So it's kind of like a version of purgatory, a little bit?
To an extent, but it is bound to a physical location based on an item. Most Moonlight Wraiths are typically based from tragedy. Something tragic happens somewhere, like in the instance a brutal killing or a brutal murdering of somebody, and something sentimental is left behind from the person. A wraith that it can't rest. It doesn't rest because something sentimental is tied there, and their death is never really cemented by being buried. You know what I'm saying? So since it's not buried, the spirit is still allowed to roam free, and it attacks anybody that comes near it, and it comes out during the moonlight. In order to dispel a Moonlight Wraith, you have to collect whatever item was precious that is tying it there, collect what pieces of the body you can find there, and burn it. Once everything is burnt, the Moonlight Wraith finally gets to rest. But they are terrifying. Like, to look at them, if you look up Moonlight Wraith, you will see some terrifying images. These things are not pretty at all.
It's got a very fear-inducing name. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's creepy, man.
Moonlight Wraiths.
It is very interesting. I had to put that on there because, of course, I've been playing The Witcher, but it brought it forward. And man, Moonlight Wraiths, they're not attractive.
I would imagine
to say the
so.
least.
I'm actually going to look this up.
But yeah, that's number 4, the good old Moonlight Wraith. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we should just go ahead and move on then. Alright, so my number 4 is actually, well, some of y'all might find this one a bit generic, but just ghosts in general, just haunting spirits.
Ghosts.
Of
Yeah.
people or things that have passed on and continue to haunt us to this day. Recently, Drew and I, and also Brian, along with some of our other friends, went to go see Crimson Peak.
Oh,
Yes, we did.
quickie review because I missed the show. How was it?
Excellent.
I thought it was good. That was very good.
Okay. Anyway.
It met my expectations.
Okay. I hear you. That's fair.
But yes, the idea of it kind of goes back a little bit to what you were saying with the Moonlight Wraiths, like the idea of like something keeping or tethering a soul to this world,
Right.
even after death.
Right.
To me, like that is terrifying. Like the idea of like even death not being able to bring someone rest.
Right. So. And I completely agree with you, which is why, again, our number 4s are fairly similar. Fairly similar. But, it's to tether something here to where they always describe them as not at rest. So to imagine like a constant torment of the sort, I guess.
Yeah.
That's scary, man, to constantly be tormented to the point of attacking others. That's, man.
And like everybody has a ghost story. Everybody's like heard of somebody or like knows of somebody who claims that they've seen a ghost.
Do you believe in ghosts? Ooh,
that's a good question.
It's your number 4, but do you believe in it?
The idea.
What is your belief, Kyle?
The idea of them scares me.
Yeah.
I myself have never seen a ghost.
Right, I haven't
never and have never like had the experience of like a ghost-like presence.
Right.
So at this point, I'm gonna say I don't believe in it. Although I am.
That's fair.
If I have that experience, if I honestly believe that I have seen or have seen the effects of a ghost, I might be willing to believe it.
Sure. Yeah. I got you. I personally don't know how I feel. That's why I was curious.
Yeah. Like
I was curious what you were going to say. What about you, Drew?
Ghost.
I don't fucking know.
No, I really don't, because in my opinion, there's no such thing as ghosts, just demons, and demons are a very real thing.
Right.
So that's where I stand on it.
Absolutely. Okay. Fair enough.
Demons are a very real thing. You don't want to, screw around with that stuff. Just no.
And I have to agree with you on the demons aspect, but in the sense of a ghost, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about it. I can't say one way or the other.
Because there's either, Eric. You and I know there's only 2 places that people go when they die.
Right.
There's only 2 options. There's no such thing as in between.
Right.
In my opinion.
Absolutely. So, ghost.
And just the idea of like, and that's the thing with ghosts. Like, there's so many different kinds of ghosts. There's like so many variations. There's like the ghosts who are just absolutely malevolent and just want to just rage on everything and just kill whoever comes near them.
Right.
Then there's also the ghosts that are just, sitting in a room and it's very dark.
Yeah.
Crying.
Okay, Drew.
Very chivalrous.
Sorry, somebody tagged me in a really stupid video on Facebook. I got a notification from it. Just no, please, no. I don't appreciate that at all.
Well,
very upsetting.
Well,
so glad you brought that out on the show.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's very professional of you.
Sorry.
Now,
I got thrown off. Sorry.
Number 4, Drew.
Number 4. All right, here we go. After I wring that guy's neck when I see him next time, I'm gonna go with a movie not a lot of people have heard of. I think it kind of flew under the radar for a while.
Monsters. So
what?
You're reading off your monsters list, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I am.
Go ahead.
I am. This is a movie.
You said movie, and I was like, oh no.
Sorry. Well, the monster from the movie.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm gonna go with the. We don't know what it is. All I know is its name. Its name is Jerry. And the movie that it's from is from The Sphere.
Explain what Jerry is.
You don't know what Jerry is. That's the whole thing, because
what is
the movie The Sphere.
It's a good question.
He's like, be afraid of Jerry. Who's Jerry? The accountant.
I'll explain.
Gotta give a little more description, man.
Next door.
I'll explain. The movie The Sphere is about this supposed crash in the ocean, and it's very top secret stuff, and they bring in it's kind of like Jurassic Park in a way. They bring in a psychologist, they bring in all these guys to go check out what it is, what's this thing, and it looks alien, but you don't know if it's alien. So what happens is a lot of stuff goes wrong, and this name pops up on this screen. The only way that they're able to communicate, and it introduces itself as Jerry. So throughout the movie, it's the only thing they're communicating with, and stuff goes wrong in the station, and you don't know if it's this giant squid that's possibly out there. You don't know if it's an alien talking to the people in the station. So it's what Kyle was talking about a few weeks ago when he said that the greatest monsters are things we make out of our imagination.
And I would agree with that.
Jerry he's very much one of those things. It's very scary.
It's sounding like Jerry himself is the unknown.
He's the unknown. That's a good way to put it. He's the unknown.
Does he have a look? Does he look like anything?
Nope,
No.
because
He's just a voice you hear.
You never see him, but it's what your mind puts together that makes it work.
Huh.
And the movie is very good.
That is interesting.
It's Dustin Hoffman, Leo Schreiber, Samuel Jackson, and Sharon Stone that are.
You like this movie, huh?
I really do. It flew under the radar. I would highly recommend checking it out. But Jerry is my number 4.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Jerry.
Really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go
Thank
check
you.
this out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Eric.
Number 3 is an interesting one. I'm going to have to explain just a little bit of. It comes from an anime. It is an elf/fairy. Okay, now we know in the lore of fairies, anyway, fairies are never really good things.
They're tricksters.
Yes, exactly. But like the interesting thing about Berserk is they just some describe it as an elf, some describe it as a fairy. What they do is whenever you see one, you know, or you're supposed to know something bad is around. It is supposed to signify there is evil in the area. Be it, it is.
It's an omen.
It is. Be it monsters, demons, ghosts, whatever. It signifies something. And in the Berserk series, it's an anime series, it's easily one of my favorites, top 5. If you've never
so
seen Berserk, oh man, it's
Are
awesome.
we gonna go Berserk over it?
Drew, you know, there are times when you're not funny.
Eric's wife is listening. She appreciates these
She's
puns.
probably laughing, but nobody else is.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, big shout out to my wife, Michelle. I love you, baby.
We love you, Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle.
What up? All right, but anyway, yeah. In the lore of Berserk, it leads several children out to a big open body of water where they're swallowed by like huge fish demons. So yeah.
Oh wait, so the fairy also leads you to
The fairy leads you to death,
Ooh,
pretty much.
So it's kind of like a siren in a way.
Okay, in a way, exactly. And see,
All
this
right.
is you're going to see this theme come up a lot with my ghosts. Is my ghost,
Your list?
Your ghost.
my list.
You got some other people
I've got
here
some
with you,
ghosts.
better.
They're back here with me. They're hanging out.
Oh hey Terry.
Yeah,
How you doing, man?
what's up, man?
Jerry, what's up, man?
Anyway, is I'm very scared of something that seems completely harmless and then leads you astray. And that's exactly what this does in Berserk. Is it takes something that you're supposed to see and go, oh, hey, that's nice. I want to go see that because fairies are typically a good thing, and it leads you to your death. In a very brutal way. If you've ever seen Berserk, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's
That's not Friday.
it's not at all. It's absolutely terrifying, and that's my number 3.
I like it.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
it's,
good, actually.
It's pretty cool.
All right, mine is also from a. It's not an anime, but it's from a specific title.
Okay.
It is the monster in Silent Hill 2. If you've ever played that game,
Yes, I have actually.
it is probably one of the most recognizable villains in any video game. I would say it's Pyramid Head.
Now, Pyramid Head is Silent Hill 3, not 2.
No, it is 2. It's
No, it is 2.
absolutely
You're absolutely right. You're right. I'm wrong. You're
no,
right.
because Pyramid Head is specifically there for
I
one
forgot. I'm
purpose.
sorry.
Now, this is something. All right, before I get into the whole movie situation, I should probably give a brief description on what Pyramid Head
Correct.
is.
I would
and-
definitely do that.
Okay, so Pyramid Head. How to describe Pyramid Head? Pyramid Head, it has the body of a man, a very
Correct.
big, just gigantic, just muscular man, like normal height, but just like he's pretty.
He's not ribbed. But he's big.
He's big.
He's a big
if
guy.
nothing else. And he just has this geometric just shape on his head that is, well, it's very pyramid-like.
Right. Right.
So-
I mean, that's where he gets his name.
Right. Big enough to the point that it almost seems like a burden for him. And he also carries around oftentimes just this gigantic sword.
Yeah, his gigantic weapon is a big burden to him.
Oh yeah, thematically it ties into exactly what he is.
Oh man, if we get into the thematics of Silent Hill 2, we'll be here a while.
I feel like I need to bring up some of it.
You do.
But Silent Hill could be Silent Hill 2 rather could be an entire episode.
I agree. But anyway, go ahead. I just didn't know how far you were going to go.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to spoil too much. I want people to go out and play this game.
And you're trying not to walk too much into like the disturbing ground that is Pyramid Head, because Pyramid Head is, once you get into the I guess spoiler free as much as possible, once you get into Silent Hill 2, you realize Pyramid Head stands for more than just a monster with a blade.
Very much so. He is very specifically tied to the main character, James Sunderland.
Right.
In a very interesting way. I'll leave it that way.
Right.
And see, that is the reason, like, the tie to James Sunderland, that is the reason I hate the fact that they put him in Silent Hill 2. Because they just throw Pyramid Head into the mix because he's a recognizable face without any of the context of why he exists.
Now you're talking about the movie, right?
The movie.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was confused. Yes, I didn't actually see the movie, but now understanding, because at the time the movie came out, I honestly didn't know what Pyramid Head stood for.
Mm-hmm.
Now seeing that, and I still haven't seen the movie, but I don't see how you can put that character into a movie form. It was disturbing enough as a video game character.
See, like, the only thing they make Pyramid Head do in the movie is, like, just brutalize some people. That's it. And there are so many monsters in the Silent Hill, like, franchise that they could have done just that.
Exactly.
Like, they only put him in there because of his, like, because it's Pyramid Head.
Right.
Everybody knows Pyramid Head.
Of course.
So,
well, yeah, they wanted the recognizable, name
right.
and the recognizable feature. But
I feel like it just does a disservice to the franchise.
I would have to agree with you there, especially, like I said, especially once you learn everything. And I really urge people, if you haven't played Silent Hill 2, play Silent Hill 2. It's really fun. It's really good, and it tells an incredible story. The narrative on Pyramid Head,
yeah.
Or just wiki it, but look it up somehow, because the narrative on Pyramid Head is incredible.
Even if you don't in my opinion, don't read the wiki.
Okay.
Either play the game. That is what I would absolutely prefer.
Well, yeah, that's number one, of course.
If you can't play the game, just, I don't know, watch a Let's Play of it if you can find one.
There you go. I forget those are things sometimes.
I want to say I saw one of the two best friends play.
They play everything, so probably.
So, yeah, they probably do that one.
Yeah.
But, no, if you can't play it, and you know what? Those guys talk about that game all the time. If they do it, they are going to talk a lot about it. So they'll give you a very in-depth, conversation.
That is true, but be ready if you watch Best Friends for just a lot of nonsense.
Oh, tons of nonsense.
Which that's
and
any
inside
Let's
jokes
Play.
that you will have no idea what you're...
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, I actually like that number 3 a lot, because Pyramid Head is a terrifying creature.
And what he represents, if you ever get to learn who he is, he is well deserved on this list.
Yes,
in my opinion.
absolutely. I completely agree with you. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to have to take a very quick commercial break here. We will be right back in just a jiffy with Drew's number 3.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are the United Nerds plus Eric and minus Brian here on WLJS 91.9 FM. Oh, we are so happy that you're joining us. Oh, we love it so much. All right, well, here is REM with Losing My Religion. Hey, everybody. We are back. We are the United Nerds here on WLJS 91.9 FM. Oh,
That was just a dream.
I guess it was.
I think I saw an angel.
I'm still in a dream, Snake Eater.
Very nice. All right, so I believe we were to return with Drew.
Yes.
Drew, give us your number 3.
Number 3, Monster.
Monster.
Yeah, we are counting down currently our top 5 monsters from movies, TV shows, video games, anything actually.
From anything.
Anything ever.
Well,
All right.
I'm going to go with the Lord of the Rings area, and I'm going to
Really?
say the Wraiths from Lord of the Rings.
Oh man, the
The
ring
ring
rates.
Ring Wraiths.
I remember being a little kid when the first Lord of the Rings movie came out.
Wow, we're old.
I know. Oh, man.
We are old.
Man, wow. And I'm probably older than you guys, so
Yep.
wow,
Ouch.
that's even worse.
Nah, but I remember being a little kid when this movies came out, and the ring race were coming on the horses, and it just looked like death coming for you. It just
Not to mention, for me, it's the noise.
Yeah, the
It's
shrieking,
the shrieking.
shrill.
Man, that is nightmare fuel, in my opinion.
It is.
I just feel like when you shriek like that, man, that's terrifying.
That's what makes them work, though. At the same time, they
I agree.
scare the pants off of you, but that's what makes them work.
And the fact that that their blades have that mystical property,
oh yeah.
Ooh.
and that makes them even worse, man. Yeah, I'm that's a good one. That's a
Well,
good
when
one.
I went and saw it in theaters, this was, if anybody from Anniston or Oxford remembers the Dollar Theater that we had way back in the day.
I never went to it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it is now, I think it's a church
It
now.
is a church
It's a
now.
church now. And,
It's been a bunch of things.
yeah, it's a church.
Has
It,
been.
it was like a laser tag before. I wish I had gone.
No, it was.
I wish it was a laser tag church.
laser
Oh, wow.
Awesome. They
And
just
Joshua said, "Dark."
they combined the two.
Oh, man.
Sorry, that was
No,
be
I
awesome.
remember that place. It was Beyond Imagination.
Yeah, Beyond Imagination.
It had
yeah,
laser
man.
tag, paintball. I want to say it had like Halo party things.
It did. It had a bunch of different parties
Yeah.
for it and stuff.
That's
But
cool.
when I went and saw it, that was where I first saw it, and they had the volume cranked so high
Goodness.
in the theater. I mean, it was enough to like shake your chair almost.
That's good and bad too.
So yeah, so you can imagine, I was pretty young. Wait, when was the what was the official date for when they came out?
Oh,
See, you
geez.
got me.
man.
You call
Look
me.
it up.
Everybody
Yeah,
grabs
hold on a
their
second.
phones, and I'm the only person who's just like, let's not
Let's see,
bother.
Lord of the Rings.
Let's
I'm going
be
to try to
social.
calculate how
Everybody else is like, oh
old.
my gosh, I just got to pull out my phone. So now it's the Eric Show. What's up, everybody? How's it
Hey.
going?
Eric, tell us about your favorite movie.
I'll tell you about all the best movies.
2001. So let's just
Okay.
do the math
All right.
here. 2015 minus 2001.
You can't just.
I was 14 years old, and
Sure.
Let's go with that. All right.
I had nightmares. I did. I had nightmares, and actually, kind of a squirrel moment. One of the freakiest parts of that was when you first saw Gollum's eyes through the darkness.
See, I was
Yes.
never afraid of Gollum.
I was the
Never
first time
afraid
I
of
saw
Gollum.
him.
He never bothered
Is it
me.
just that he's like too pathetic, or
Yeah, he's too pathetic.
Okay.
He's too like weakened by his want and his love for the ring to really be scary. And it's like this is not spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, I'm sorry, but it's
yeah, no shame.
No, yeah,
exactly.
go for it.
At
Go
the
for it.
end when he jumps on Frodo, and it ultimately dies in the lava. When he jumps on Frodo was the only time I was like, whoa,
Well, because
you're being a little aggressive.
because he's jumping on a hobbit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a hobbit ain't going to be able to
Handle that.
hand them off like, say, Aragorn or Legolas or
Right.
even Gimli. would.
Aragorn would just take his sword, just slice him in half, and be like, "What
Well,
else
that
you
was
got?"
No,
done.
at that point it's just like as small as he is, just like kick him or something.
Right, yeah.
Just like punt him like a football.
But yeah, Ring Race, man, awesome.
Ring
That's
Race.
that's a good pick. I
And
like that.
Really good.
And I love their story. They have such a deep story. It makes you want to read like the
Because Tolkien is freaking ridiculous.
Tolkien's
Yeah,
He
Tolkien's
has
crazy.
novels worth of backstory for every blade of grass in like Middle Earth, man.
By the way, this whole thing going around the internet too about George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, George Lucas being the Mark Twain and Steven Spielberg being the J.R. Tolkien of our time. Let me just correct you here. Steven Spielberg is J.R. Tolkien and Mark Twain, and George Lucas is just George. Just George, good old George.
I don't really feel like giving George Lucas a lot of credit. For
He's
Star Wars.
George Lucas, and Steven Spielberg is.
Why are
is
you
all
not
those
giving him
things.
credit? Just curious. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'll be honest with you.
All right. Everybody gives him crap for the prequels.
Okay. Yeah.
prequels were not that great. I think.
I still think number 3 was one of the better ones, but yes.
Thank you, Eric. I would agree with that.
All right, I'll concede that one.
Had some of the best lightsaber battles.
It did.
I
It did.
feel like one of the big things is George Lucas is capable of producing some really good stuff. All right,
Of course.
People will never shut up about Star Wars.
No,
I'm
of course
pretty
not.
Sure.
Especially never now, because now all the buzz
certainly.
of Star Wars is almost sickening at this point. I like Star Wars just as much as the next guy who likes Star Wars, maybe. But like, it's I'm not really excited. I don't want to see a trailer. I'll just go see the movie when it comes out, and it'll be Star Wars. It's not going to be anything impressive or new. It's going to be Star Wars.
And Luke Skywalker is not Kylo Ren. People, please.
He could be.
He's not.
Now,
I don't even know. I'm just saying.
on to why I'm not a big fan of George Lucas. All right. George Lucas works best when he has a bunch of people around him to question him on his stupid ideas. Because he's capable of making some really good stuff.
Yes.
Like I said.
Very.
He's also very capable about making some really stupid things and adamant about putting them in
That's
when
true.
he has creative
Yeah.
control.
That's true. That's true. I agree.
So that was the reason that we had crappy prequels at the beginning. It's the reason that he decided to replace the guns in E.T. with walkie-talkies.
Right.
It's the reason that the old movies have now retroactively, some fans would say, have been ruined because of the edits that he placed into the old movies.
Okay, that's fair. And by the way, my wife says that Lucas is the Ray Bradbury.
I don't know who.
I don't know who that
who's
is.
Ray Bradbury.
Smart jokes.
Yeah. So we don't know who that is, Michelle. But anyway,
Thank you for the input, though.
yeah. So, but okay,
Sorry.
that's fair.
Brief squirrel moment.
Brief
there.
squirrel
That's
moment,
fair.
sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the ring rates from Lord of the Rings is my solid number 3.
Awesome. So
I dig it, man.
I do too, man. I love the race. My number 2 is the Kelpie.
Kelpie.
Kelpie
Sounds
is
like the Kelpie.
yes, indeed.
Sounds healthy.
It is a Scottish folklore of a water horse that draws you into the water and drowns you. It is it's said to be in big bodies of water and resemble a horse. And it's a story that the Scottish people would tell their kids to keep them to their younger kids who couldn't swim to keep them away from the water. That if you went too close to the water, the Kelpie would grab you and pull you in.
So, I mean, not only do we have Loch Ness to worry about, you got Kelpie.
Right.
I mean, wow.
Loch Ness was the bigger exactly. Loch Ness was the bigger version, and the Kelpie is kind of like the Loch Ness monster. But yeah,
But for kids.
Yeah, I was about to say it's the ones they would tell the kids, "Hey, don't get too
They
close
tell
to
the
that
kids
stream."
that, they tell the adults about Loch Ness.
Loch Ness monster is real.
When you get older, they'll tell you about the Loch Ness.
Darn it.
Don't take a boat out there.
But it's usually described as a powerful and beautiful black horse. It inhabits deep pools of rivers and streams of Scotland, preying on any human it encounters.
Wow. I'm fascinated. This is the first time I've heard about this.
The Kelpie is my number 2 because drowning is probably one of the biggest fears of my entire life because I can't swim.
Really? You've never,
Really?
even when you were younger, you didn't take, like, swim lessons?
No,
Really?
I cannot swim. A lot of people in my family couldn't swim either. My mom still can't swim.
How come you just never...
Just never
Wanted-
took time
I
to
was
learn,
I was
physically
traumatized. I was
Oh,
traumatized.
okay. Well, okay.
okay.
I was pitched into the deep end because that was going to teach me how to swim, and at the end of the day, I sunk like a rock.
Oh, no.
And yeah, so drowning is a huge fear of mine. There's only one other monster that is above the Kelpie, and we will learn that in just a few minutes.
Yeah, so we will. All
But,
right.
but the Kelpie's terrifying for drowning reasons. I am most afraid of drowning.
I feel you there. I feel you.
It's a good one.
Big bodies of water are terrifying. Go ahead.
All right. Well, all right. So I guess we'll just move on to my number 2 then.
Cool.
Mine is, I don't know, I guess it's a little more generic. I mean, it's, oh, jeez. This monster has been used so many times in so many different ways. Like, it's almost to the point where the horse is dead. Everybody keeps beating it. I'm going to get to it in just a sec.
Okay.
I'm loving the build-up.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to build this up a little bit.
Edge of my seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm biting my nails right now.
Are you feeling it?
I feel.
So
Coming
my
into
number
there
2
tonight.
is just vampires, because to me, vampires are just a classic horror that people have had for
Centuries.
centuries.
Okay, and I've waited to start the show to have this conversation with you. You really need to specify what type of vampire, because there are a lot of
Exactly.
really crappy vampires now.
Exactly.
So you're going to have to tighten that down to a type of vampire, because there are some books
And,
that are...
and rice, anybody?
Okay, let me just let me start out this way. Stephanie Meyer is nowhere near this conversation now.
Thank you.
Starting right now,
Good.
Stephanie Meyer and anything else she has made or influenced is going to be nowhere near this list.
Funny, my
for you,
grandmother
good for
actually
you.
my grandmother actually met her before she wrote the books.
My condolences.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I'm talking about
Right?
the classic idea of a vampire.
Okay.
It is a monster that lives off of blood
Right?
and, dies in sunlight, hates silver, wooden stakes to the heart that kills it. Classic vampire. It's very charming.
Very traditional. It's a charming
Yes,
vampire.
The charming vampire. I like Nosferatu style vampire.
Right,
I
right.
really like that one. But for me, the charming one that leads you to your doom is much more terrifying.
Exactly. The one that puts the veil of safety.
Mm-hmm.
The veil of safety
Like
and
the-
love, and then all of a sudden,
kinda
Like the
bam.
Bela Lugosi, like the Christopher Lee vampire.
Right.
That's
Ooh,
what I'm
yes.
thinking of.
I agree with that one too. I like that too. And it's funny because at first, and I'm only going to say this just because I don't know. At first, I thought you were going to go with the underworld vampire.
I have actually never seen Underworld.
It's a crime. That is a crime.
Wait, hold on. It's a crime that he's never seen it.
Yeah, it's a crime he's never seen. Those are fantastic vampires.
I put up for my hood while you two just.
What is?
Okay,
In all
no,
seriousness,
okay.
Eric, why do you not like the Underworld
I
series?
never said I didn't like the underworld series.
Okay, I got the vibe.
But when you bust out pistols, you're vampires. And you're going to find, I'm going to get real close to the mic so everybody can hear me. When you're a vampire, you have all these powers. You bust out a gun. Why did you need a gun?
Well,
Couldn't you just kick the thing you were fighting really hard? Because fine. You're a
Vampire-
super strong vampire. And on
Vampires
top
have
of this,
crazy amounts of strength.
exactly. And on top of this, the werewolves show up with guns with light in the bullets. Daylight in the bullets. This is the lamest. This sounds like a bad anime, and I want out. I don't mind the underworld vampires at all. I really don't. They're strong, they're powerful. That's awesome. You don't need guns. Put your guns down. Don't take your guns to town.
ooh, excellent song reference.
It is. That's a good
Excellent.
one.
Well done, Eric. Well done.
Audible. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Underworld is a good movie. It is. It's fun. It's a fun film. The first one. I did not go past the first one.
See, it got good
Couldn't do
once
it.
it got good once we got to this. Here's what happened. It got good when it got to the second one, and then the prequel was good. Rise of the Lycans was good, and then we got this last one that came out. And the problem with this last one that came out was it left it open at the end. It really should have wrapped things up. Really should have. I understand we're all about making money in this business, but for story wise, for fan base wise, finish the story.
Right.
Please.
I get that.
I feel like we should have just a movie night with everybody and just watch movies that some people like
And some
others
people don't.
hate,
Do you know how
just
long
so we
this-
can have the conversations about why we like or hate these movies.
But you have to have the conversation like a mature individual.
Oh, certainly.
Oh yeah.
And
We would
there
dress
are
up in formal clothing.
There are certain people
With
that
wine.
we know that we can do that with.
How do you feel on this film,
Yeah,
sir?
exactly. I just think that we would have. I agree with you. That would be fun,
Oh, yeah.
but we would have the issue of the people that couldn't handle a little bit of criticism. Because I'll be honest
Exactly.
with you, especially if you're my friend, I go hard in the paint when it comes to making fun of something you like.
did just say that
Kyle,
phrase.
I
Wow.
did because I do.
Oh, I've been on the receiving end of this.
Kyle
I
has
can't
been on
remember
there.
what did you?
The Wii U is what I hit you on a lot.
Yeah,
and that's a
that
very
was-
jokingly thing, but I'm also kind kind of serious.
See, here's the thing with the Wii U, Eric.
Tell me. Tell me.
Squirrel moment, by the way, y'all.
I understand 100% where you're coming from,
Yeah.
and oh boy, am I mad.
Yeah, of course
about,
you are. Why wouldn't
about
you be?
how things are going with that. But I still say, as it is, there is the potential to have good games on there, and there are some amazing games on there right now. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Yes, we are talking about movie monsters.
Monsters.
I'm still liking the idea of us just sitting around in formal suits, just like, well, I agree with you on that viewpoint,
Yes,
but
yes,
what about
quite,
this? Yes,
Like a
quite.
cup of
How is
tea.
your brandy today? Yes, it's quite good. All right.
What are your views?
I'll stop.
A good spice to it.
Good
All right,
spice.
all
Good
right,
spice.
spice.
Number
is-
2 for me, vampires. There we go. Drew, number 2, please.
Drew number 2.
Number 2.
Drew 2.
Do
All
it to it.
Oh my gosh. He said the words.
Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
wow,
Let's stop. Let's stop doing that.
I love it. I'm going to go with the Predator for number 2.
Here we go.
And there's a really fun story behind it. When I was about 5 or 6 years old,
Knee high to a grasshopper.
No.
No.
We don't do that here.
I'm sorry.
We don't do that here.
I had to say it.
Oh wow.
Physically had to. It's like whenever Drew laughs. Whenever we're playing Towerfall.
Okay,
I'm very sorry about that.
I'm gonna
I
go
know
ahead and-
very few people understood that.
What were you gonna say?
I'm going to go ahead and spoil the fun for everybody. The Predator is my number 1.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm
Thank you.
going to
So-
kind of mix these two.
Yeah. We'll
We'll
discuss
have an
it.
open conversation.
So
Go for it, guys.
when I was about 5 or 6 years old, we were in Birmingham at that lovely hotel that is next to the Civic Center, and my parents went down to go eat somewhere, and the TV was on. So I'm sitting there channel surfing, really bad idea, and I come across this movie, and I'd never seen The Predator because my parents wanted to wait, a while before I saw something like that, which is
my dad did not care.
well, which was understandable. I mean, I have a very, very vivid imagination. So I'm sitting there, and it's the scene where he's covered in mud, and he takes the torch, and he just goes, "Ah!" And I didn't know what in the world was going on. And then the next thing I know is the alien pops up. Oh, wow. That will forever haunt me.
You mean the Predator?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Predator.
is an alien.
Yeah, the Predator. I'm sorry. The Predator shows
Let's
up.
specify when it's Predator, though.
True.
Honestly.
You know what? I will agree with that, especially... never mind, please.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that forever will haunt me. And, yeah, that is why he's number 2.
Here's the most terrifying thing, and the reason Predator's number 1 for me. Something that hunts humans for sport. Not only can you not see this thing if it doesn't want you to see it, it is hunting you for fun. And if it kills you, I mean, you'll never know this because you'll be dead, but if it kills you, it's taking your skull
And spine.
and spine and cleaning it.
Shining.
He's not just taking it straight and just saying, oh, here it is, and hanging it on his wall. He's cleaning it.
And shining.
When you clean and shine something and take care of it, it's precious. He is taking a part of the human anatomy and making it his own trophy.
Yep.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a monster. That's a terrifying, terrifying monster.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Something that hunts humans for sport. That's crazy, man.
There's actually a pretty good Neil deGrasse Tyson quote about that idea, about how we're terrified of the idea of an apex predator, or something higher than us on the
Yeah,
food
something
chain.
above us, right?
It's the fact that as children, like the reason that we like dinosaurs is because of the idea that they can eat us.
Mm-hmm.
We give respect to anything that eats us.
Right, absolutely.
Humans, we are the dominant species on this planet. We can eat anything we want.
Right.
So the reason that we fear these things, the reason that we hold such fear for them, is because they have power over us.
Right, exactly.
So
Exactly. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
very
that's
interesting.
Predator's Drew's number 2. Predator is my number 1.
And I'll say, in defense of the series, 1 will always be a classic. 2 was really good.
I liked 2.
I love it. Was that good Danny Glover era?
Yeah.
You know,
I
where
got to see 2 actually.
The ending of 2 is actually worth it because you
Yeah.
see all these different Predators show up. You get to see all these different masks and looks and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Eric.
It's not, but it doesn't spoil anything.
It doesn't spoil
It's kind of
anything.
like an after the credits thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a plot point.
But it was that that Danny Glover was Lethal Weapon era, just really strong going. And I will also say that Alien vs. Predator was good. The first one was good.
Oh, we can't dive into this.
No,
man.
I said that. I mentioned it briefly. And Alien vs. Predator Requiem was not the stronger of the two. It was a good idea, but it didn't work.
The Predators died way too fast in Alien vs. Predator. Done.
Yeah, pretty
Done.
much.
The Predators, it took humans forever to kill. It took humans. One even had its arm lost in Predator 2. And it took humans forever, and they struggled to kill one. Aliens were killing one in seconds.
Yeah.
Just like, done. Over.
Well, to be fair, and this might.
We're not doing this.
Well, just you can briefly
Well-
say. Go ahead.
I mean, once we're done with this particular conversation, we might have a
We can talk
particular
then.
monster to talk about.
True,
next.
true.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
and Predators. I'll also say Predators was decent, but I mean, I love Robert Rodriguez that he came on as a producer, but it wasn't. It's not the stronger of the series, but it's still very entertaining.
See, it's not the stronger, but it's better than Alien vs. Predator in my book. Predators was a better movie than both Alien vs. Predator movies combined.
And Adrian Brody He did a really good job, but he could have done away with trying to do the deep, manly voice thing. Just come on.
I really don't have a problem with Brody.
He's
problem.
He's a
No
fantastic actor, the
qualm.
pianist. I mean, whew.
Right. No qualm, no problems.
So,
Well, that caps my number 1.
my number 1
Here we go.
is actually the alien, the xenomorph.
Now, I'm curious as to why you picked a xenomorph over a predator.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Well, I mean, I've talked about the xenomorphs on Toppers quite a bit, so I guess
Okay.
it's about time for me to talk about them here.
Just
Yay.
rehash what you said because you summed it up really well.
All right. Well, basically, this kind of goes back into my theories on like horror movies and just where fear comes from in general.
Right.
In horror movies, I like the idea of a particular fear expanded on and like put into a movie.
Okay.
Like, that's the central theme of the movie.
Right. I get that.
The first Alien and the monster itself is based on the fear of rape.
Huh. I didn't know that, actually.
Yes, it's
You taught me this thing this day.
its design and its way of killing you is based on that concept.
Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Its body is shaped very phallically. It kills you by impregnating you and like dying in childbirth.
Right.
And
That makes a lot of sense. Wow. I did not think about that. Very interesting.
yes,
Very interesting.
yeah. To me, that and like what you were saying earlier about like everybody working hard to kill the predator in that movie. There was only one xenomorph on the ship in the first Alien movie, and it took everybody like
Out.
to try to kill that one.
Okay, but
So-
it took them out in stealthy manner. It took them out where they couldn't really see it coming. And I
so
understand
did the
that.
predator.
I understand the predator does that too, but no, at a certain point, the predator just comes to you. When he feels you're an honorable prey, when he has hunted you enough, he comes straight to you. He decloaks and he takes his mask off. He takes away two of his tools that make him better than you and tries to fight you on even ground.
Like in Predators. That's what Predators did so well.
Right. Well, like you were saying in the mud scene, Schwarzenegger had to cover himself in mud so the predator couldn't see him. And the predator throughout this process was like, this prey is actually, he's really powerful. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to his level and beat him at his own game. And where he couldn't, of course, still, that's in my opinion, that's way cooler. That's way cooler to me, man. Like, if this monster, who is clearly more powerful than us, takes its own gadgets away and says, okay, I see you're trying. I see you're good. Bring it on. He steps in front and says, "Come on, let's go."
Okay, but that
Let's go, brah.
to me that doesn't make him more scary. To me that makes him more of like an honorable fight. Like, sure, he's terrifying. The
He's
Predators-
coming down to your level because he knows he can still kill you even without his gadgets, and that's not scary to you?
like the idea of an alien that is always hunting you, that will not relent in any way or give any inch whatsoever to try to kill you and eat you and spread its own like self.
Honestly, y'all both had really good points on this because I mean there are two different kinds of fears here. So I mean,
right.
you're not wrong and you're not right. You're both.
I would agree with that.
You're kind of even.
I would agree with that.
I don't know. To me,
You
I
find that scarier.
I feel like I would have more of a chance against a predator.
Do you?
Oh.
Do you? I think you might want to rethink that because the sad truth is, if the predator doesn't see you as worthy prey, he never comes out at all, and you're dead.
Yeah, she'll take you out like Carl
I
Weathers.
understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, given like the mindset of the predator, because the predator is I don't think anybody's going to disagree with this. The predator's smarter than the alien.
Way smarter.
Very much
smart.
so.
And that's even in the lore. They're smarter.
Yeah.
Because aliens work off the queen, which is the hive mind.
Right. So to me, like, I don't know. I feel like you could even at some point even reason with the predator. You cannot reason with the alien whatsoever. Like, because in Aliens versus Predator, the first one, like at some point the humans and the predator start working together
To take out the
to
queen.
take out the queen.
The queen.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like there's
This argument can go on because I
Yeah.
can get into the aspects of the queen that are different, which made the predator team up. Because once the regular xenomorph is dead, it's training for a predator to kill X amount of aliens. Them going to that pyramid to fight the aliens was training for those young predators. So from the get-go, the predators in Alien vs. Predator 1 are young predators. They're being what's called blooded in the Yada. Yadas are predators, just a different word. It's the type of alien. They're being blooded. If they survive the pyramid, then they are blooded as official predators. So, they're not even fighting predators at their top form. They're fighting predators trying to prove themselves.
That is an excellent way to put it.
So, yeah, I'm way too into Predator. I've had this argument so many times.
Brian just sent us a text that I have no hope against the predator.
Yeah, you really don't.
I
you
know.
as a person, there's no chance.
yeah.
Me as a person, I'm fat, dude. Like,
I am
I
very
really
much
don't have a chance.
I am very much aware. If I go up against the fight against the predator, I'm having my skull and spine ripped out.
Oh, yeah, you're dead.
I'm aware of that.
You're dead.
I'm just saying as small and as insignificant of a chance that there is.
Still going to argue that there's a chance? You're still going to
Anyway,
argue? Okay.
Should we just move on to my
We should
number
definitely
one?
move on.
Because we can talk about
I'm gonna
can do this.
I'm gonna
All right,
throw down the
so Drew.
gauntlet.
And I'm having fun, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, like I said before, y'all both have excellent points, and you're
We'll
not
talk
wrong
about
and
this.
you're not right. But you know,
We will.
we'll huddle our thoughts together.
Okay, Drew. That leads into your number one. That was a good lead in. That was a good segue.
Thank you.
A good Drew way. Let's get it going.
Ooh, I like that, Brian. Can we patent that, please?
Okay, go.
Please.
Go.
All right, my number one is going to be Jack the Ripper from the movie From Hell.
That Ripper.
So why Jack the Ripper in particular?
Because he's pure. He was pure evil. I mean, you do not. If y'all are brave enough, you can look up the pictures of what he did to, I can't remember what her last name was, but Mary. No human, just no human can possibly conjure up just doing that kind of.
Well, apparently
Oh.
he did.
Well, I
His
mean,
name was Jack the Ripper.
well, I mean, he did, but you know what I'm saying. It's just.
Now you're just being mean.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
It's sorry, somebody commented something stupid. I'm gonna kill that guy. I really am.
Fight through it, Drew. Fight through
I
it.
am.
We're doing a show, Drew. I don't know if you know.
I know we are.
We're doing it live, Drew.
Yeah.
We're doing it live.
This isn't pre-recorded.
But Jack the Ripper. I'm also fascinated by the case itself because
I get that.
I like the
It's a
different.
fascinating case.
I like the different theories that he was royalty, that he was actually maybe he was a woman. There's that theory. And I enjoyed the case that came around about it. Maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago about them finding the actual Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. That was really interesting.
I read up a lot about it, but he's the definition of a monster to me. And
I think what's most interesting about that, if I may add, a human being the
Yeah.
most terrifying monster.
The monster among us.
Right.
Ooh,
Right. Turns out it's man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man is the.
That was a really good Futurama.
That's the
thing.
scary door.
Yeah. It's called the scary door. No, but there was like a Futurama ending. It's like,
Turns out it's man.
it's like, I've created the most powerful, most evil creature in the world. Turns out it's man.
Turns out it's man. That's the way he says it. It's so good.
But man, I think what's
Shout out to Michelle on that one. That's a good one. We love that.
Shout out to Michelle. But what's that classic saying? Man is the most evil creature, or it's
Dangerous game.
most dangerous game. That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
Very cool.
So that's all I have to say about that.
That's cool. No, I like that. That's a good number one. Very solid.
Like, I wasn't sure at first, but like you brought it around.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I
Thank
wasn't
you.
sure at first. That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, we are going to have to take a very brief commercial break. We will be right back in just a second. And we're going to start talking about movies. How about that, huh?
Movies.
All right. Well, here's Adele with Someone Like You.
Did he send his lip?
Oh, no. We're actually on right now, Eric.
Wow.
And we are live
I'm glad
with
we
Eric.
started. I'm glad we started. I was asking if Brian sent his list, but
He has not.
go ahead and do your little intro
Unfortunately.
thing.
Right. So we are the United Nerds here on WLJS. I'm Kyle Holland, joined as always by Drew Moore and Brian. Oh, no.
Wait. Brian isn't here?
There's an imposter.
Imposter.
among us.
And joining you sometimes is Eric Curtis.
There you go.
It's not as
Eric
always.
Curtis is joining us once again.
What's going on, everybody?
Yes. We are actually 15 minutes past our second hour, so
I love you all very
we love
much.
you. We love you too.
Very
Eric's-
much.
Eric is always a welcome guest on this
Yes.
show. and
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
We love having him, and he's just so opinionated on things like aliens and predators.
Okay, let's not. Let's not. Can we
Actually,
not?
I was more concerned about the fact that we chose Adele for our cut song. Out of all the songs we've
I
had,
know
Actually,
what
Drew,
the-
fun fact, we didn't choose that. Kyle did.
Kyle chose Adele
I
for
don't
us.
see what the big deal.
I mean, I like that song, but I mean, it's
she
It's not a bad
definitely fits in with our theme of
It's
like,
not-
someone like you. What are you expecting the alien to just wrap their arms around a
Wrap
friend
arms
and go,
around
"Someone
whisper
like you"?
sweet Nothings. Touch you with its little mouth.
well, no, like because
Put its little mouth on your ear. little
Little
mouth.
mouth on his shoulder.
I eat you with my little mouth too.
Yeah,
I wanna come out
just
playing
imagining
too.
like I'm just imagining like the little pincer.
I'm
mouth
gonna
things, like,
eat you.
Hey everybody.
No, Predator and I split a little while back, and I'm just trying to make it through the
Yeah,
day.
he doesn't say good things about you either.
I guess. Maybe I'll just find someone like him.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Good luck with that.
Don't forget him.
I won't. Never forget. So, our second top five tonight that we're going to be talking about. Well, we just finished talking about our top five movie, or just monsters.
Horror
Good old
monsters.
monsters. Good old
And
monsters.
before we move on to our next one, Brian just called me while we were on break and wanted me to bring something up about the most dangerous game.
The Most
which we
Dangerous
talked
Game.
About a little bit on your number one, Drew. I just wanted to bring up the whole thing about Dr. Moreau. Oh, jeez.
Easy there.
Sorry about that. Taking people and then just unleashing them onto his island just to kill whenever he wants. So,
All right.
yeah, hunters.
Most
That's a
dangerous
thing.
game. Yeah.
Most dangerous game.
Most dangerous.
So yeah, I feel like he felt like that kind of added to our discussion of apex predators.
It did. It did. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyway, so we are going to go ahead and just move on to our next top five of the night. Our top five favorite horror movies. we're big fans of movies here. I think
I would agree.
pretty safe to admit.
Yes,
My
absolutely.
collection is ever growing. Trust me.
Very nice.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody here at the table and everybody listening has a particular favorite horror movie that they like.
Of course.
I
Absolutely.
feel like horror is a genre that doesn't really get the kind of respect that it needs.
Not anymore, because
Certainly not anymore.
Not anymore.
No,
like we
yeah.
discussed,
Oh, no.
like we discussed last week. It's sad how much it's declining.
It's like it's kind of like candy now. It's like
It's like when-
you still like it, but it's so cheap now. You know, compared to what it's been.
Well, either that or it's like when you get like that bag of like Reese's Cups and Kit Kats, then you eat so much of it, and then you just kind of get sick of it after a while. It's just kind of like I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
Here's the thing with me and horror movies. I've never been a big fan of horror movies, but
Really?
I'll be honest. Yeah, I really never
Yeah,
have.
I mean,
it takes a lot to make me want to see one, and it's because my mom always was forbidding horror movies in the house, and my dad disobeyed that forbiddance a lot.
Horrors.
So
Horrors.
I saw a lot of horror movies that I wasn't supposed to see, even at a really young age, and I just never was a fan. I don't like being scared, honestly.
Yeah, I feel.
And
the same
so
way.
those people who like being scared, I actually enjoy being scared when it comes to Halloween, but that's about the only time.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan of these movies, and people will realize that my list is what's the word I'm looking for?
compiled.
Compiled, whatever.
Compiled.
It's compiled of a bunch of newer-ish horror movies, but yeah.
All right, I can see that.
So I think
To me, like the whole thing with horror movies is, oh geez, tonight I am just. Anyway,
he's getting choked up with that alien leaving him.
I guess so. Just getting that acid spit. Anyway.
Let them out.
Anyway, I just love horror movies because it's a way of telling stories that you don't really see that done that well. It's like everybody remembers like being told not to do specific things because there was a risk involved. Don't swim too far out in the ocean; you'll drown. Don't.
Other stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Don't pick your nose, otherwise your fingers will turn black.
Like, there's ways in.
Wow, I've never heard that one.
You didn't hear that one? Oh yeah, I heard that one.
There's ways of telling movies. There's ways of telling stories.
Right.
Using horror that can be more than just like a cautionary tale. You can tell all kinds of things using horror.
Right,
as a
right.
genre. So, I don't know. I think I really respect it as a means of storytelling.
I do respect it. I have no problems
If
with
it's-
it.
if it's
just
done
I didn't
right.
grow up with it that much.
Right.
It takes a lot for me to say, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to a horror movie. I'm already stubborn, but when it's a horror movie, I'm more stubborn.
So how about we just stop building this crap up and actually get to our lists, which is why people are actually listening to this
Okay.
show.
Number
So-
5 for Mr. Eric Curtis. Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
geez, just step all over us, man.
Hey,
Wow, yeah.
I was the
After
first.
you,
I
sir.
was the first one last time. I'll be the first one this time.
Ooh,
No,
special
I
guest.
figure mine's gonna have the least amount of conversation. I promise.
You know what? All right.
So my
ahead.
number 5 is The Thing, 2011 version.
Oh,
Excellent.
and Count Zaroff was the guy from Most Dangerous Game. Sorry, I said Monroe. That's H.G. Wells. My bad.
Yes.
That's okay. Sorry. But yeah, my number 5 is the 2011 version of The Thing.
See, it's interesting that you bring this up because almost everyone I have ever talked to about The Thing says, don't watch that version of it. Watch the original.
Here's the thing. Gosh, I did not want it to happen.
But it happened.
My influence. I'm so happy.
Here's the way it works: is that like I never cared much for the original. I just never did.
What?
I just didn't. I didn't. There was no. It's just I just didn't.
Kurt Russell's beard is enough to warrant a well done.
Beards don't make a movie.
Beards don't make a movie, Drew. Get over yourself, you basic bro.
Basic, bro.
It's because I'm wearing sweatpants because I didn't bring any shorts.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is.
exactly the reason.
100%.
Drew. That is exactly
No,
the reason.
backstory. I didn't realize how cold it was going to be today, so I wore shorts. Needless to say, tall guys get cold. Our legs get cold. It's a fact. So I went and got some sweatpants from.
Thank you for the
from the store.
backstory of the sweatpants. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100
So
I
I've
really
been
appreciate it.
I've been called a basic bro for most of the night. So just that's for y'all.
But anyway, I just enjoyed the remake. Was a lot scarier to me. I know
All
the
right.
creature in the remake is the same, but like the remake was just a lot. I don't know. It was better. I can't really explain. It was just better.
It was a prequel sequel.
I understand that. I understand that.
I'll be honest. I have not really seen either one. I've heard nothing but good stuff about the first one.
First one's classic.
So I feel like I just need to watch these two. Just
I'm
so I can
kind
make
of surprised people are talking so poorly about the 2011 version.
I have no idea why.
It's actually a really good movie. I don't see a big problem.
I will happily defend it. They did their homework. I mean, even to the point
They
where
really did.
Even to the point where you get to see the base that in the first movie they go back to, and there's an axe in the wall. And in the original movie,
Right.
it's in the same place.
Exactly.
These people knew what they were doing. It's one of the real prequel movies that does everything right, in my opinion.
And it's a good movie. Like, you can watch it. There are some good scares. There's some good who is it? There's some good stuff happening in that movie.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it, even if you've heard bad, man. It's a good film. It really is.
My only
Give it a try. Give it a try.
My only complaint would be the ending. That's the only thing. I'm not a big fan of the ending, but I am a fan because it sets up.
It sets up
for
the original.
really good movie.
It sets up a really good. It's a classic. So.
All right.
Yeah. So that's my number 5.
All right, so I guess we can just go ahead and just do the same rotation we had before. So my number 5 is actually The Ring. This is the American version. I've never seen the Japanese version, Ringu. I saw this movie when I was pretty little, and
That's a bad idea.
I had nightmares for about 2 months.
Samara just crawling
crawling through the TV at me.
Oh, that's scary.
Looking back at it now, it's like,
hey, her hair. Her hair is freaky. I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your minds. I've never seen it.
No shame.
I've never watched it.
I've never seen it either. I've seen bits and pieces from it.
As far as like horror movies go, it doesn't really like push the boundaries.
Right.
It does a lot of like, I'm not gonna say like stock things. I mean, it does a few stock things, but it's not like really setting itself aside from a whole lot of other horror movies that are like it.
Right.
But just the fact that it had such an emotional just punch on me back in the day, that's why I have it on this list.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've seen the girl from it, of course, who hasn't. But yeah, she's absolutely terrifying.
That image has like lasted so long.
Yes, it really has.
In pop culture.
And for a while, it was the defining image of a horror film, of a monster, a creature.
Yeah, because I like, there were points when I was in the theater, because like, she absolutely disfigures you. Like, that is what happens when Samara comes. You are just left just this. I don't even know how to describe.
You
it.
really
can't.
You are You're not like a bleeding pile on the floor. You are a misshapen mess.
Right.
And like that fact like terrified the crap out of me back in the day.
Right.
And like, there were so many parts in that movie where I just like was just having my hands over my eyes, just like, I don't want to see what it looks like. I don't want to see what it looks like. I don't want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. The Ring.
And I think, just briefly, what's scarier too is this. I've seen the scene where she crawls out TV. You're just kind of waiting for her to pop her head up and just see like this scary face, and it doesn't happen. So they like tease you that way. So that's what makes it even scarier.
Right. All right, Drew. Number 5.
All right, number 5. Like I said, I mentioned Jerry from The Sphere as my favorite horror movie monster. So I'm going to go with The Sphere for my number 5 horror movie as well.
Okay.
Just because I had some fun with this list because I've done a bunch of these before, and I just wanted to shed some light on some maybe forgotten ones, and this is definitely one of those. So.
Yeah, well, you discussed this earlier. I'll actually give it a shot.
Yeah, everybody.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, check out The Sphere. It's really good. Like I said, it's Dustin Hoffman, Liev Schreiber. and Samuel L. Jackson and Sharon Stone. So
I
it's
like the Hoff. So
it's
The Hoff is one of the best actors.
the Hoff is cool.
it's the perfect role for him too. It's a quirky kind of guy. It's good. Check it out. Check it
Okay,
out.
cool. Yeah,
We'll definitely give it a shot, man.
absolutely.
All right, so Eric,
My number
Let's hear it.
4 is a number 4 that's going to be on, I think, all 3 of our lists. I actually think maybe just me and Kyle. I'm not sure. But number 4, The Shining.
It's just on y'all's.
It is on mine. I won't say exactly what number it is.
That's fine.
But it is on mine.
The Shining was the one that I saw as a kid that left that impression. Now, this is my childhood fear. I watched this movie as a little kid.
Like how old were you, Eric?
I can't even recall,
Like
honestly.
4 or 5?
Maybe 5.
Ooh, no.
This was my first movie that was like nightmares. Like
you
nightmares for a
seriously had
while.
nightmares over it.
I still
Did you not when you first saw it?
I did not. No, I never had a single nightmare about it.
okay. And that's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
But
I know.
the lady in the bathtub, I used to walk in my bathroom, and I did this for several years straight.
Oh, no.
I had to move the shower curtain to make sure there was nothing in the bathtub. That's how bad that scared me.
Well, that's a really, more than anything, that's probably one of the grossest movie scenes ever created.
Yes, it is.
You don't need to see that.
But anyway, yeah, The Shining. I think we can all agree there doesn't really have to be much more said. That movie is terrifying.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my 2 cents in while we're talking about this.
Sure, yeah, of
and
course.
then when we get to it on when it's on my list,
We'll
just
We'll
pass
keep
on
going.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've mentioned this on the show before, but there's a big difference between the book version of The Shining and the movie version of The Shining.
Of course,
We
yeah.
talked about
Yeah,
this
we
on the show, and Drew and Brian found out quite.
It was quite
Quite
humorous. Quite
Anyways.
humorous.
One of the big things that Stanley Kubrick did when he took this movie is he kind of changed around some of the themes about it. And if you know anything about Stanley Kubrick's works, yeah, there's a whole lot of hidden themes, but there are just things he puts in his movies that is never directly said to you. They kind of hint about it and we'll just briefly touch on it, but they're themes that just cover the entire movie.
Mm.
This movie is about the genocide of the Native Americans.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know about that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on a Native American. The hotel itself is on.
I was
Native
about to say,
American
there's a
soil.
lot of,
That theme is nowhere to be found in the original book. Stanley Kubrick just threw that in there.
Huh,
Wow.
that's interesting.
That's a good and
That's
it
cool.
works.
Yeah, I was about to say, it does work.
It feels like an
does
Indian
its job.
drug trip, kind of, sort of.
Well, yeah, a lot of the decorations that are in the hotel for the movie are things that Stanley Kubrick himself put in there. None of that Native American imagery, the tapestries,
Huh.
pictures, none of that was originally in the hotel.
Wow.
He just had that in there.
Smart move. Smart move.
And the wife, Julie Dreyfus, what?
No. Duvall. Shelley Duvall. Shelley Duvall.
There you go.
Her and her son wear a lot of earth tones.
Yes.
Which is what the natives wore.
Right,
And
right.
They even modeled a lot of her hair.
I was about to say, yeah, her
after
hair.
a lot of Native American hairstyles.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
yeah,
Very
to me,
interesting.
that level of detail that they put into that movie is just amazing for me.
Right.
I love that kind of stuff.
I agree.
And it's and without a doubt, it's one of Jack Nicholson's highest performances ever.
Oh my gosh, he's
He
incredible
was
at that.
horrifying in that movie.
If you guys want to see something interesting, look up on YouTube this scene where he's getting prepared to do the axe through the door and he's
Yeah.
prepping himself. He gave this performance his all.
Yes, man, and it is impressive. It shows. It is very, very nice.
And actually, another fun fact, when they were making Misery, they asked Jack Nicholson, "Hey, would you like to play the part of James Caan?" And he was like, "No, I got too messed up on The Shining. I can't do it."
Too messed up on The Shining. Wow.
And here's another fun fact. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, they use the like the main hall in the hotel, it's that same area.
Wow.
The pit in Raiders of the Lost Ark is the same area they used for the hotel scene in The
That's
Shining.
cool. That's really cool.
Yep.
I think that brings us to Drew. Or no, wait, hold on. That was my
No,
number 4.
that
We
was
just talked
Kyle.
about it.
Kyle.
So now it goes to Kyle.
Kyle.
Well, before that, I'm afraid we're actually going to have to take a quick commercial break. I am
Don't do
sorry.
it.
No.
Sorry, I'm sorry to do it because of things.
This is your
Is it,
fault.
is it another Adele song? Did you put
Actually-
another Adele song on here?
Actually, I think I decided to go with Bad Company this time.
Ooh,
Okay,
yes.
that's cool.
So here's Bad Company with Bad Company. Yeah, so that's a thing that's going to happen now. I wonder if it'll... Hello, everybody. We are the United Nerds here on WLJS, and no, we're not necessarily Bad Company, but we'll keep you company nonetheless.
It's a great song. Classic song.
Good intro, by the way.
Thank you very much. I'm Kyle Holland, joined by Drew Moore and Eric Curtis.
What's up, everybody?
Reality.
Our special guest.
Yes, and we are counting down our top 5 favorite horror movies in celebration of Halloween coming up this week.
This is Halloween.
This is Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. I'm really happy it's Halloween.
Oh man, I cannot wait. Is anybody going to dress up for Halloween?
No, simply because I'm poor.
Yeah,
I want
I feel you there.
I'm poor.
I want a full body Wookiee suit. I want to find like a movie.
You already have one.
That's true.
I really,
I like how defeated you look. That's true.
I really should get like a drum roll for that, or not.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what that's called.
well, I mean, that's whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I want like movie, like cinema, like Wookiee suit. I mean, I already can do the. I can already do that.
That's not bad.
Thank you.
Sounds more like a machine gun, but you're on your way. That's better. See, that's the one.
Getting it.
That's the
All right. I believe we were on my number 3.
We haven't done Drew's number 4, have we?
No, we haven't done my number 4.
We didn't do my number 4.
We didn't do your number 4.
We didn't do
You're up.
your
You're up,
number
Kyle.
4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be up, and you were like, "We gotta go to commercial break."
Gotta go to commercial. We
My
gotta
name's
go to
Kyle.
commercial.
My name's
Yeah.
Kyle. We gotta go to commercial.
Yeah, go to commercial.
So my number 4. On my list of my favorite horror movies is actually The Silence of the Lambs. Now, this can be seen as a horror movie or thriller. Personally, I think of it more as a horror movie.
It's rather enjoyed with a nice Chianti while you're watching it.
Starring Anthony Hopkins
Just keep going.
and Jodie Foster. This was the story of originally it came from the book Red Dragon, which they also made a movie for that one as well. But anyway,
Right.
So, this is the story of Clarice, a FBI agent who's going after a serial killer, and she enlists the help of another serial killer to aid her to think like a serial killer. Yes. The serial killer is Hannibal the Cannibal, played by the ever famous Anthony Hopkins.
His
He's-
crowning achievement.
Yeah, that was. I think I saw an interview of like I can't remember if it was him or like what was the name of the woman who played Professor McGonagall? in Harry
Oh,
Potter?
Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith.
Maggie
It
Smith.
was one, I think it was, or she may have been mentioned. Anyway, Anthony Hopkins was in an interview and he was like, "It kind of sucks that I played Hannibal Lecter because now that's the only thing people remember me for."
Yeah, I
And-
mean,
yeah, because it's kind of like with Maggie Smith, everybody remembers her as Professor McGonagall
Or
and
Hook.
nothing else.
Or Hook. I think of her as from Hook every single time.
But that's the problem with doing your job too well, I guess.
I was about to say, I think that's the punishment for being too good at what you just did.
Oh yeah,
But
I'm not a
continue.
big fan of Silence of the Lambs personally,
No,
but
that's fine.
but I do think his performance in it was incredible.
What are your other thoughts, Kyle? Continue.
Well, this movie, it like grabs you by the hand and leads you down a path, and just the more you dive into this movie, just the absolutely horrifying it gets. Like the more you see Buffalo Bill, the more you see Hannibal Lecter, the more you see his effect on Jodie Foster and everyone around him. Like you are looking into the eyes of evil here. And
Yes.
Right,
it is
right.
something else to see it. Let me tell you, it made for a really good movie, and I was thoroughly scared, like pants crappingly scared. I was trying to think of how to phrase it.
There you go.
Right.
The
Yeah.
cough button.
Yeah, we are on a bit of a delay. We've learned our lesson there. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So
Mr. Hannibal is scary, but I don't know. I just never bothered me. I don't know. I guess because I don't know. It never bothered me because the Hannibal TV show came out, and my God, people loved that freaking show.
I love that show, Eric. Don't you say a bad word about it.
why can't he have an opinion, Drew? Why can't he have an opinion?
That's a good question.
Well, what were your thoughts on it, Eric? Continue.
The production value, the actors and everything, the actresses, everything was great. There's nothing bad to say about the actual show. I just don't care.
Is it the fan base? Is it the fan base you
Partially. The fan base is partially to blame. But it's the fact that everybody thinks it's just the end all be all.
Oh,
and
no,
it's just
no.
not. It's just a good show.
It got canceled.
I know it did.
So
And when everybody was sad, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's about. It's going to get picked up. Somebody else is going to grab the reins and run with that because it made money.
I hope so.
And they'll
I'm
keep
waiting on the
making it.
call.
the marketing that movie had.
They'll make that show as long as it's drawing in the bucks. And guess what? It apparently was doing fine. It has a really big fan base. People loved it. I don't know why it got canceled.
I don't either.
But I personally don't really. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see the appeal, and it's not scary. My dad always loved Hannibal, and that was a big deal. And I was just always like, "That's not scary, man." I saw The Shining. That's not scary. What you're showing me here, man, that's not scary.
Yeah, I'll agree. Silence of the Lambs is a classic. Hannibal, not so much. Gary Oldman did a really good job. Now, Red Dragon is without a doubt my favorite out of all
so
three.
you that's the one you like the most.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, Silence of the Lambs is a classic up there, but Red Dragon, yeah. Red Dragon did it for me, and Hannibal Rising was good.
See, like it's funny. Like I kind of think of Hannibal Rising as not the greatest movie ever.
No,
certainly it doesn't deserve the crap that people throw at it.
So much people give so much hate.
There are people that want that movie burned at the stake.
Really?
Oh yeah, like it is surprising the amount of hate that movie has. But it's just like whatever. I mean, it didn't ruin the character of Hannibal Lecter. It didn't ruin the entire series.
We live in an age of if you do anything that I don't like, it's ruined.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right about that.
We live in that age,
You're right
man.
about that.
We really do.
I mean, you couldn't have gotten a better person to play a young Hannibal Lecter. That guy did outstanding work.
They did good.
I mean, think about the shoes he had to fill, though, too. I mean,
When you've got big shoes to fill, like I actually feel, I'm not going to get into it too deep, but I actually feel bad for Jared Leto's Joker. I'm actually afraid.
Yes.
I'm actually afraid for Jared Leto's Joker because talking about big shoes to fill, and horror, as a matter of fact.
yeah.
But yeah, that's when you have big shoes to fill. Like you've got a really nice thing you're following up, man. That's tough.
It's like, look at the hate Heath Ledger got
Beforehand,
the Dark Knight.
And I was even on the side waving the flag that he was going to be awful.
Oh yeah.
I was.
And
Not afraid to admit it.
Yeah, and squirrel moment, a brief thing on Jared Leto. He blew me away with his performance in Dallas Buyers Club, just how deep into the role he got with that. So with his role as the new Joker, I'm open, but we all know I'm scared to death of this movie.
Well, squirrel moment for me, Jared Leto, it's not that I have a problem with him.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the design of the Joker.
Yeah, they made him They made him look like a crack addict.
They make him look like a meth addict. And the last thing the Joker makes his own suits. He doesn't look like some dude who's all tatted up and ready to hit the alleys,
Well, I feel like that's a lot of the Zack Snyder influence.
And I love Zack Snyder, but
yes.
I just think that character design is a poor choice.
Oh yeah, Zack Snyder's a fine director. He's made
Poor
some good
choice.
stuff. I just feel like with the vision he has for this franchise may not necessarily be what some people want.
I hope that movie bombs.
Don't you say that.
I hope it bombs.
Don't
I hope
say that.
I hope it's a bigger bust than Fantastic Four.
No, there's no way.
I hope it loses more money than Fantastic
This
Four.
movie will not lose money.
Eric Curtis, 2015.
I
No.
feel like I see where you're coming from. Certainly, I feel like it won't just based on the name recognition alone of Batman v Superman. Fantastic Four bombed because the average person doesn't know anything about Fantastic Four.
Well, I guess I'm referring to both, but I'm referring to Suicide Squad
Oh,
as well as Batman vs.
Yeah,
Superman.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Superman robbed out of his sequel when he finally got a good movie. And I don't even like Superman. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
Let's, you know what? Let's just
Back
can
on
this.
track.
We're canning this conversation for another day.
Back on track.
We are moving on to Drew's number 4.
Yes, Drew.
Because we are 15 minutes till we're supposed to be.
That's a suggestion. Now we're having so much fun tonight.
Needless to say, I guess we're running over.
Yes, we.
At this point, it looks like it.
So
Okay, cool.
Heat
All
up
right.
some popcorn and sit around and listen to us.
Have some fun.
Yes. Okay.
All right, Drew, hit us
Number
up. Number 4.
For my number 4, I'm going to give some attention to a series of movies that's going to be filming its third one soon, The Purge.
Ah,
I'm going to be giving some love to this series. I am.
So go ahead and give it some love, man.
Kyle, I can tell by the look on your face that you're not really into this. Huh.
Look, I'm just going to let Drew have his time explaining what he likes.
Yeah, okay.
Go for it.
You know what?
All right.
I'm just going to sit back here and I'm just going to,
Go for it.
go for it.
Okay, here's the thing about The Purge. It was an idea, people were just kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like when they did The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's speaking to what we as a culture are starting to go towards. And I think what they went in with the first movie planning on doing something else, but they were experimenting. So they said, okay, here's the first movie, here's just an idea, and nobody ever thought about what happens, if this had a possible sequel or not. So,
I didn't see the movie. I really didn't. I didn't see the movie. It wasn't because I was like, "Ooh, that looks like trash."
and
I just didn't see it. It wasn't something that I purposefully avoided. The concept sounded okay.
I mean, I watched it last night to refresh my memory on it just a little bit. And
Okay.
would people consider Ethan Hawke's performance just a little bit over the top? Yes, just a little bit. But I think he's a fantastic actor.
Okay.
Could I pick apart? I could pick apart a few things. For one,
You could pick
You
apart
could pick
anything.
apart a lot of things.
I could pick apart a lot of things, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did. And the second one, it brought the series to where it should be. It opened up the world, which is sure. I bet they wanted to do that in the first one, but they just got constrained, so it wasn't the full vision. The Purge Anarchy was the ultimate vision, and now we're going to do a third one. And the second one introduced a guy that you actually cared for. You wanted to see where his journey led.
This is the last thing I'll say about it. Give me one solid reason why somebody who literally has no interest should watch that movie.
Be more open. Be more open to something new. That's what I could say. Be more to some.
Okay.
This is what movie watchers now these days they judge too harshly. Don't believe the hype, please. Don't believe the hype so much.
I will completely agree with you. Hype is too strong these days.
The hype is way too strong. Give movies that are trying to do something different, like The Purge and Purge Anarchy are doing. Just try.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I'll say.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. All right.
I'm just gonna withhold my.
No. I would like to hear what you're. No, please. I would like to hear what. Just
Well,
some things.
Kyle, sounds like Drew wants to hear what you think.
Come on.
All right. You want to know what I think about this?
Yeah.
I'm curious too, but I was going to ask you later. But go ahead.
Yeah,
All right.
let's yeah.
Go ahead.
My whole thing about this movie. If nobody said anything about The Purge ever, and the movie just existed on its own, it'd be an alright movie. It's not a fantastic movie at all, but it'd be a movie. Everybody I talk to about this movie says, "Oh man, this is where society's going. This is what we're leading down to." This is a satire. this movie is a satire. Do you know what satire means?
Yeah, absolutely.
It means that it's an exaggeration of the highest possible extreme.
Exactly.
We are going nowhere near what The Purge is trying to set up. Okay, I'm sorry. Congress is never going to pass a thing where all crime is going to be legal in one night. That's never, ever, ever, ever
No, of course
going
not.
to happen, ever.
Of course not.
But everybody I talk to about this stupid movie is like, oh man, it's telling the truth, man. You gotta defend yourself. It's to the point where it's almost propaganda.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a nice what if story. Don't believe that, this is going to be us in 15, 20 years. It's a what if. It's a vision of what if.
It's not the movie itself I have a problem with. It's the people who've watched it.
It just sounds like a fun story, honestly, in the sense of and that's why.
And based on that alone, yeah, sure, it's an interesting concept.
Sure, yeah. I think you're hating it for the fan base more than I really do. I think that's where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I get that, dude. I know. And no, that's not where we're going. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Cops and crime is worse than it's ever been. You think they're just going to be like, all right, here's a day where you're just free to go.
Can you imagine the cleanup and oh my goodness.
And if that's going to be a thing, take a night in Canada. All right? You don't have to stay in town.
You don't have to, okay?
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have to there.
Go on vacation, man.
Right.
Take all your stuff. Get out.
Take all your stuff.
Block it up or something. I don't know.
Anyway, it's interesting to debate it. It is. I mean, like I said, you can nitpick it apart, but I said,
I am sure you could go onto YouTube or some other video place, find people that are just talking about A, either how this is where society's going, or B, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
I love your body language. You are so frustrated right now.
I hate talking about this movie. I am done with it. I had to have this conversation with a lot of people, and it's exhausting.
Sounds like you've been hurt real bad.
He needs to purge this movie from his mind, apparently.
I'm just gonna walk out of this studio, and y'all can just push the buttons. And,
We get to talk. This is now called the Purge Cast.
The Purge Cast. We're purging right now.
Oh God.
All right, so back to Eric.
Eric, please give us your number 3.
Number 3 is one that's kind of a comedy horror, but actually turns into a fairly strong horror close to the end of the movie.
Yes.
Is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Well, Eric, would you like to talk about Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yes, I absolutely would. It's a very fascinating film that plays on all of the horror stereotypes.
So many stereotypes.
These two guys get a house that's just, or a cabin that's just real old and busted up, and they go out to it.
They're two rednecks, by the way.
They're two redneck guys.
Two rednecks.
And so they start trying to clean it up, and they're really clumsy, and they're really goofy. And these teens show up, and it's starting to, they think it's a horror movie. They think they're crazy rednecks. And so they show up, and all these mishaps start happening that they don't even mean to happen.
I think there's one where they're cleaning something or whatever. They're cleaning an animal or something. Blood's all over them, and the
blood is covered in it. And they come walking up, and he's like, "Hey, how y'all doing? Oh, don't worry about this. I was just working on an animal or something back there." And they're like, "Oh my God, he's a killer!"
Now, before we go any further with this, let's keep spoilers to a minimum because I have not seen this, and I really want to.
Well, I wasn't going
I think
to.
it's on
That's
Netflix.
early. It was. I don't know if it still is. I don't know if it still is. I don't know if it's gone.
It's on Amazon Prime, I do believe. If you have Amazon Prime,
I don't have that.
you should.
Either way, it is a fantastic movie, and it's not. I'll be honest with you, it's not really a horror movie until close to the end. It actually does. It actually scares you when you least expect it.
I'm not gonna lie. I got freaked out towards the end. That dude, man.
I did too, and I'm not gonna say anymore because Kyle does want to see this movie. But close to the end, man, it was whoa, this just took a turn. What's happening?
When it turns, it turns.
When it turns sharp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kyle, it's kind of like a It's kind of like Shaun of the Dead-ish. A little
It
bit.
is Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead-ish.
I love that movie so much.
It really
It's
is.
Shaun of the Dead-ish mixed with another movie we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that.
What did you say, Drew? I couldn't see.
It's
You were-
on my list.
It's on-
We'll
you were
talk about
mouthing-
it later.
We'll talk
you were
about it
mouthing
later.
Something. I couldn't understand it.
But anyway, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I do believe it is still on Netflix. Check it out. It's really fun. It's funny, but you're gonna get hit with horror when you least expect it.
Yeah. It's so many spoofs too. You'll pick up on so many things.
You'll laugh more than you'll be afraid.
And
but
Alan, how do you say that guy's last name? Tudyk.
I don't know who
Tudyk.
you're
Alan
talking
Tudyk,
about.
guy from Firefly. Kyle.
Oh, jeez.
Alan.
Yeah, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Alan
Sure.
Tudyk. I don't know how you say his last name.
But anyway, it's really good. It's really, really good.
It's
That
hysterical.
movie caught me by surprise. It's just such a good movie.
It was kind of an independent movie-ish kind of
It
too.
kind of was. It was a Canadian film.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
It was really good.
So that's why I don't think it got enough. Like, it got some good reception, but it didn't get really
it
known.
didn't get the love it
good-
should have got.
It's going to be a cult classic.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be a
is,
cult classic.
for sure. For sure.
All right, well, I think we'll just go ahead and move on to
Kyle.
my number 3, and then we'll just take a quick commercial break and be right back.
Yes.
All right, so my number 3 is actually the I don't remember which year in the 70s this was, but the John Carpenter classic, Halloween.
Halloween.
The original
Halloween.
one, not the Rob Zombie ones.
The original, yeah.
I always have to clarify that.
John
because-
Carpenter.
That's a powerful classic too.
Oh, man. That movie scares the pants off of people to this day.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it really is kind of the basis for where modern slasher movies
Oh
come
yeah,
from.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you can
yes.
tell in every single slasher movie, at least at some point, where an influence from that movie came from.
Right. Absolutely.
From Michael Myers down to the people he kills to just everything.
Yeah, and that mask, man.
Oh yeah.
That mask is no joke. That mask freaks me out.
Yeah, and it's a bleached white William Shatner mask.
Yeah.
Of all things.
Of all things, it is terrifying.
We are going to kill people.
I have a problem with teenagers.
I have a butcher knife, and we are traveling.
I really love that mask. It is terrifying.
Now, John Carpenter knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
back in
man.
the day. He is
just
a mess.
I would love to be in the meeting where they're like, "Hey guys, so I got this idea. Yeah, well, I watched Star Trek last night, and so why don't we take William Shatner's face?"
I found something that would be terrifying.
It's like, all right. So follow me here, guys. Our main demographic for this movie is going to be teenagers. So we're going to make a movie about killing teenagers.
We're gonna kill a bunch of
We're
teenagers.
just going to kill a crap ton of teenagers.
With William Shatner's face.
Right.
Yes.
But yes, that's an excellent choice. Halloween is an excellent choice. My dad loved Halloween.
It's a classic. I think it deserves to be on any top horror movie list. ever.
Yes, absolutely.
It is.
It's not on my
cemented
list,
into-
I'll
Oh,
tell you right now.
Certainly.
Not on my 5 anyway.
I'm sure if we expanded the number, of
We would see
lists, You'd see it somewhere.
Somewhere.
But yeah, to me, it's just a classic, and it can't.
Absolutely.
It had to be talked about tonight.
Of
It
course,
has.
of course. Yes.
It's Halloween.
Well, anyway, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be back in just a jiffy. Here is Blue Oyster Cult with "Don't Fear the Reaper." And we are back. Oh my gosh, it is so nice to hear from people about the show. Anyway,
Yes.
we are the United Nerds here on WOJS. I'm Kyle Holland. There's Drew Moore over there. And over there, what is that I see?
Who
What's
is
up?
that?
It's
Is that-
Eric Curtis.
Is that Eric Curtis?
Eric Curtis is in
Eric
this.
Curtis, oh my god.
He's in the building.
He's here talking to us.
Unbelievable.
I'm so happy.
He will be signing autographs after the show. We have people already lining up.
Thank you so much. I'm just happy to have the opportunity to be here with you guys tonight. I just
Well,
really am. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Check out
Well,
my podcast, Warped Rationality.
We have a thing of
Yes.
roses for you after as well. There will
Okay.
be pictures.
Get on YouTube, type in Warped Rationality, you'll find a good podcast. Get on SoundCloud, Warped Rationality.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah,
Well-
that's more plugs.
For those of you who are still listening, you've probably noticed, oh, hey, I'm looking at the time here. It's a little past 9. I'm very sorry about this.
I'm not.
We just have so much show for you guys. We're going to have to go over
Just a little bit. So put some socks on or wrap up in a blanket. We know it's cold. I wanted to say blanket. It came out in socks. I'm
Put
sorry.
some socks on,
Put
because
some
we know you're
socks
not
on.
wearing socks.
You bare-feeted, just people.
We know you're listening to the show with no socks on, so put some on and
Wrap-
turn the radio up.
Wrap them
Your
in
feet
a
are
blanket.
smelly. I can smell them from here.
All right.
Oh, it did
It's
not
like,
come out
Get
how I
those socks
wanted.
on, get nice and comfortable.
Put some popcorn on.
So anyway, we just talked about.
We just talked about
The
Tucker
Hall-
and Dale versus Evil.
Yes, Tucker
and then
and Dale.
Halloween.
Halloween.
It's Halloween. So Drew,
So Drew,
could you please, in your heart of hearts, give us your number 3?
number 3.
My
Horror
number.
movie.
My number's what?
Your horror movie.
I know. My number 3 is From Hell.
From Hell.
From
yes.
Hell.
I actually never got to see this one either. There are so many movies
This
that I need to see.
this goes along with my number 1 for movie monster, Jack the Ripper. The story of From Hell is from the investigation from the time that Jack the Ripper starts his killings to the ultimate death of Mary. Like I said, I can't remember her last name. And the story follows Johnny Depp as the investigator. And boy, you talk about a violent, intense movie.
Was it intense?
Yeah, it was.
I actually don't recall too much about this movie. Again, at a young age, Dad loved horror movies. I did see this.
Yeah,
I don't remember much of it.
I didn't see
I'll
it.
be honest.
I didn't see it until like 3 or 4 years ago. Just
Right.
because I remember when it came out and everybody was talking about how crazy it was.
Right.
And I gotta give some love to Johnny Depp, man. Some of his older stuff is
He needs
legit.
it. He gets no love.
He gets no love.
Johnny
You
Depp,
never hear about
you
Johnny
never
Depp.
hear anybody saying Johnny Depp is such a good actor. You never hear that anymore.
I mean-
so it's good that you pointed that out.
Thank you, and it's especially with like From Hell, Blow, Secret Window, and
Eating Gilbert Grape?
I never saw it, but I've heard.
Edward Scissorhands?
I never saw Edward Scissorhands.
Gosh, Drew, I thought you liked Johnny Depp.
I do like Johnny Depp, shout out.
Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney
That's my jam.
Todd.
That's my jam.
I can wholeheartedly get behind Sweeney Todd.
Joanna.
Okay, we're not going to sing the songs.
No.
You.
I could sing the songs.
Drew, I will cut your mic.
Yeah.
I can make that
Everyone will stop listening if I start singing the songs.
I've had that soundtrack playing in my truck for the last few weeks. I sing it loudly and
Hey
proud.
man, I do
Hey.
sing it loudly and proudly myself.
I can feel you, man.
I sing Friends though. My Friends. That's the best track in that film though.
Friends,
Yeah.
these are my friends.
Lost. I am complete again.
See this.
My
That's my arm is completing it.
My arm is
Actually.
complete again.
Man,
See, as much as I love that, though, I gotta give it to the original Broadway cast.
Well, there's nothing against Broadway. I'm sure Broadway did it better, of course. But like Sweeney Todd, the movie version was the first Sweeney Todd I've ever seen,
Right.
and it was so good.
yeah, but
I'm pretty sure you can find the Broadway version on YouTube.
yeah, you can.
Cool.
Oh,
So
and
that's the thing. So that's the thing.
Neat, yeah,
If you ever have the urge.
Right.
squirrel moment. Shout out to Black Mass as well. We were fortunate enough to see this.
Yeah,
Black Mass is without a doubt Johnny Depp's best performance that he's ever done, easily.
Neato.
But back to From Hell.
Yeah, let's hear about this movie that you love so much. that you decided to put on this list.
I had to give some love to Johnny Depp. I'm sorry.
So little. These
It
days.
tries what the movie does in a way. Jack the Ripper never caught. Like I said before, very many theories. But what the movie tries to do, it tries to pinpoint who Jack the Ripper was. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are a lot of people they try to pin it to, and they end up pinning it to somebody in the end. And let me just say that actor that they pin it to is outstanding, and you have seen him before.
Is it Johnny Depp?
No, it's not Johnny Depp.
Okay.
It's not. I can tell you right now, it's not. And it's the movie itself. It's pretty. I mean, without a doubt, it's tragic. It's tragic as all get out because it doesn't have a good ending. And I think that's probably why it wasn't. Once again, it was not one of those movies that was well received. I mean, granted, everybody got noticed for their performances. The guy who played Hagrid was in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, like I said, very intense, very violent, and definitely, if it might freak you out some.
Huh. Okay.
I like it.
Cool. Very nice.
So I believe we're on to number 2.
Number two is one you should all be familiar with. It's Cabin in the Woods. Number two is Cabin in the Woods.
Before we start this, I just want to say something. This movie, it's a commentary on horror movies.
It's a commentary on horror movies, I agree, but there are still horror elements to this movie.
Without a
horror
doubt.
elements.
But here's the thing. The reason I like this movie so much, I'm sure y'all remember Scream.
Of course.
That was a movie
course.
about horror movies as well.
Right.
This movie beat that movie so bad.
Oh,
It blew it out of the water.
Absolutely.
I never saw Scream, but I mean, I saw bits and pieces, but I will happily agree with that.
Cabin in the Woods is about a movie where these 4 teenagers are going to a cabin to just have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But I see you can't give away too much.
No,
Matthew.
don't give too much.
I'm not going to say anything else, but they go to
Don't
this
get
cabin to have a good time, and things happen. But it is not your typical horror movie.
It's not.
I just don't want to spoil anything because
You really can't.
You can't.
Because if you do, you've ruined the movie.
You've ruined the fun of the film.
We can talk about some of the monsters, though. I mean,
Actually, no, we
can't.
can't.
Because even that is a spoiler in and of itself.
Because
Look,
if you think
yeah.
about it, man, there's a lot of spoilers that just off the sentence that I just said about these kids going to a cabin that I could continue with. That would break it wide open.
we can talk about the characters some. They are very, very well cast, especially the guy who's the who's the drug addict.
The drug addict guy was amazing.
Yeah, my favorite.
Amazing.
I love the when he's like, smoking in your father's van. Of course not. And he takes that coffee.
He makes a coffee cup, one of those silver coffee cups that keeps the drink hot.
Like a thermos.
Thermos.
Thank you.
And he
It's a bong extended in his car, and he's like, oh no, I'm not schmooking pot, and he closes it up, and it's just one of those mugs. It's amazing.
He's a very lovable character.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much, he kind of sees that things might get out of hand.
Even now, you're giving away too much.
Just
That's the problem with this movie. If
cool
you
your
haven't,
jets there, young blood.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you're right. But the thing is the movie's very smart.
Okay, let me say this.
Okay.
This movie goes insane. Things happen in this movie that you almost could never see coming.
Yes. Absolutely.
Ever.
And Joss Whedon. Let's give a shout out to Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon is a great writer.
Yep.
But he will write some goofy stuff, though.
Oh, without a doubt.
But yeah, Joss Whedon did write this film, and so there is some of those things too. There you go. And but no, this movie's very good. It is not your typical horror film, and go into it understanding that you're not walking into the typical horror movie. And I loved it. It's number 2 for a reason. It's not because it's scary. It's because I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a great time all the way around. If you're somebody who's easily scared, you can watch this movie and still appreciate it.
Oh, sure.
And granted, it does have some pretty new scares to it as well. So I mean, there's some.
It's very inventive.
It's
very inventive
and imaginary. I'd say it's very imaginary. They knew what they were doing when they made this, especially when they made the trailer, because the trailer you saw the trailer and it was like, what?
I discovered this movie recently. Actually,
really?
Recently. I did not see it in theaters. I didn't know anything about it. And the guy I do the podcast with, Ben, was like, you ever seen Cabin in the Woods? And I was like, no. He's like, you should watch this movie. It's good. And I watched it with him, and I was blown away. It was great. I had no context because Ben's cool like that. And he was just like, no context. Just watch this. It's good.
It's good.
And it was really good. It was so good. I can't say that enough. It's such a good movie.
Give it a try, please. And even when it seems like it's getting ridiculous, just keep watching.
Yeah, keep going.
And
truck through this one.
I think you'll be hooked. You'll be hooked. You'll wonder what's going on, because for the whole first, I guess, 30 minutes of the movie, I was just like, what is happening?
Shoot,
I just want to know what's going on.
I was like that for 40 minutes of the movie. I mean,
but see, I started piecing it together. After a while, you start putting some things together, and you think you've got a grasp on it, and you kind of do.
And then it just flips.
And then it flips, and it's like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I don't know what's going on. Very good movie. Cabin in the Woods is probably on Netflix. Probably. I should have looked this stuff
I want
up.
to say
I think it is.
I wanna say
the
it's
last
pretty
time I was
sure.
on, I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and move on to my number 2, which is actually Alien. Another classic movie, classic series. It's been talked about to death, especially by me on this show, on Toppers. I've talked about it quite a bit.
Right,
So
right.
I'll just sum up what I've said in the past. Big, scary alien monster, gonna kill people. People die. So, Drew, you're number 2?
Well, there you go.
Well,
That's
I
it.
mean, we did talk greatly about this in the first hour.
I know. Squirrel moment off Alien. I'm very excited for Prometheus 2.
Someone has to be.
I know. I am.
Ooh.
But I would rather see them put
Ooh.
more work into the Alien movie that's coming up that completely ignores the rest of them. I'd rather see that first before Prometheus 2. Honestly.
I liked Prometheus, the first one, for about an hour, and that was the hour that was the good part of the movie, and then things happened.
You know, I'll have to say this: in order for
Never seen it. I don't know.
in order for
Have at it.
in order for Prometheus 2 to work, they're going to have to
Explain things.
A, answer all these questions, and B, either find a way to connect it, or just no,
Or just no.
no,
Just know.
Just
no.
no.
The movie will fail. The movie will fail, and I don't want it to fail because Ridley Scott is finally back on top with The Martian. I didn't get to see it, but it's good to see him back.
There's a video on YouTube. If anybody's familiar with Red Letter Media, you may have already seen this. And it's talking about Prometheus. If you haven't seen it, I will show you two guys after we're done with this. You'll get quite a kick out of this. It's basically in the middle of talking about Prometheus. It's two guys just sitting in a room together. In the middle of talking about Prometheus, one guy just goes into just questioning the movie. It asks every single question that the movie left unanswered. And this is a 5-minute video.
Wow. Okay.
Just
Whoa.
question after question after question.
Wow.
And
yeah, I don't know enough about it to really even say anything about this, but
Yeah.
right. Well, anyway,
Drew, number 2.
My number 2, I'm going to go with Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder version.
Okay.
okay,
Very
was-
nice.
pretty strong contender.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I'm a big Zack Snyder fan. I didn't see the movie with owls in it, but I didn't really care to. But I loved 300.
The Last Guardian.
Last Guardians, yeah, I think.
I didn't see that either. I think you're right, though.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking, no, that's a PS4 game that's coming out soon.
yeah. Well, it's something with Guardians.
It's something with
Something with
Guardians.
Guardians.
Something with Guardians. Anyway, I was a big fan of, massive fan of 300, big fan of Watchmen. So I had to go back and watch Dawn of the Dead, and I like this idea. I do. I really want to go back and watch the original one
Right.
by George Romero, but it brings together really well all these different characters, and it's really hard to keep good pacing in a story where it's just one place. They're just one place for the entire movie.
Right.
So
Right.
I would consider it to be a good, like, Walking Dead-ish thing before The Walking Dead became a thing.
The thing is the zombie thing is overplayed now.
Oh, so overplayed.
That horse has
It's
been
overplayed
beaten
now.
to death.
Yes, and I think that's what really hurts. And that's what really hurts the old movies that had zombies in it, at least for going back and watching them now. If you go back and watch them now, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't have the same bam effect
Well,
as
yeah.
it probably did.
Because like back then, it was a different like look on like the durability of zombies. I feel.
Of course.
Like you watch Walking Dead, and 10 or 20 zombies will be killed in like any episode.
Right.
And like back in
Maybe.
those movies, like they were seen as so much more of a threat.
I agree. Zombies are
Like-
less threatening now.
Like every zombie thing, like you're waiting for the zombie killing spree.
Right. And I think that's where we're losing the edge
We've
on
desensitized
zombies.
to it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I agree with this pick though. It's not bad at all.
No, it's really
bad at
not.
all. And I like Zack Snyder a lot.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I think
I think
Dawn-
Go ahead.
What were you going to say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't want
Okay.
to interrupt your train of thought.
No, you're good. No, I think Dawn of the Dead was one of his first movies too, so very, very strong opening,
Yeah.
opening for him.
Yeah, I think I'm the only person that likes Sucker Punch.
I didn't see
Yeah.
Sucker
I
Punch.
think
Like,
I'm literally
very-
the
very-
only person that likes Sucker Punch.
Very few people like that movie.
I have yet to
don't
see
know
it.
I don't get why people didn't like that
why.
movie.
I never saw it.
Actually, I kind of get why some people might not like that movie. I take that back. But, like,
It's different.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. And,
Yeah.
and I can't really defend it when people have these questions about, well, what is this and what is that? I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's just a good movie. Just take it for what it is.
Seriously.
It's just a cool movie that does cool things. And that's really all there is to it.
People have no imagination hardly anymore. It's sad. You have to be given everything. Just use your brain. Imagine.
Have you guys not seen Sucker Punch?
I've
No.
seen a bunch of trailers for it. I never saw the
We
movie,
need to
so-
get together and watch it.
Yeah.
I would like to know
Alright.
your guys' opinion. Because even
Alright.
if it's negative on that movie, this movie's a fun movie.
One
Sure. Alright.
of my good friends said I would really enjoy it, so I
It
take
is
him on his
very
word.
Zack Snyder. I'll say that. If you like Zack Snyder, there's a lot of But yeah, it's a good movie. Anyway, that was a, what do you call it, a squirrel?
Yeah, squirrel moment.
All right.
Yeah, whenever we diverge off, make a digression.
So is it like somebody with ADD chasing a squirrel?
Yeah, it's a dog.
It's a dog.
basically.
Oh, okay.
It's from that movie.
Squirrel.
Oh, yeah. That's, oh, God. I see it now. I see it now.
Squirrel.
I see it now.
So,
All right, so I guess we're moving to number ones now, right?
Number one.
before we do that, Brian
yes.
finally sent me the text.
Finally,
Oh,
Brian.
my goodness, Brian.
Man, this is why I
You're
can't have nice
lucky we ran
things.
over.
Right? So we're just gonna briefly mention his top 5 list. We might have a word or two about one or two of the movies.
Sure,
Yeah.
sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. So his number 5 is Van Helsing. Not sure if that's really a horror movie, but
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, he can have
Hugh
that one.
Jackman one.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
The Frankenstein from Boris Karloff.
Classic.
Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
Right.
Classic.
Oh yeah.
The Poltergeist, the original movie, not the remake.
Mm-hmm.
And Psycho, the original.
Right. What was his monsters?
He didn't send me that.
He didn't send you the
I
monsters?
only
No.
got movies.
Brian, you had one
You
job.
disappoint me.
You had one job, Brian.
Well, I told my lovely wife that I would be on this show tonight, and she made a list of these things as well. I'll
Let's hear it.
briefly go over them real quick. We'll start
Briefly.
with the monsters. Number 5 are Japanese monsters or Japanese spirits. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name she wrote here, but known as the slit mouth woman. If you look up slit mouth woman, it's a woman that has kind of like Joker mouth, but to the extreme.
I love the way he plays that.
Like a big Venus flytrap mouse.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Ooh, Phoebe.
Her number 4 was the headless horseman.
Excellent choice.
Pretty good.
Her number,
Very good, actually.
Her number 3 monster was Lamia. I really don't know what that is. I guess look that up.
Google search, anybody?
A horror-
She told me, and I just can't remember.
A horror
Sorry.
version of Mamma Mia.
If you're still listening, sorry.
That's already scary on its own.
Number 2 for her was Jenny Greenteeth, which is a river hag. Kind of what I was describing earlier. It's a form of Kelpie, but it's just a different tail.
Yeah.
Where
Down
it
a horse.
pulls children in. Yeah.
It,
Or like the Kappa.
Right, exactly.
it taught children to stay out of.
Water.
Water.
Well, no, I was trying to think of something else for him to be scared of.
Agua.
I guess so.
And her number 1 monster was Loch Ness Monster. So that's pretty cool. We touched on that.
Seems to have a fear of water.
I would have to agree with you there. Top 5 horror movies. Number 5 was Sleepy Hollow, the 1999 Johnny Depp version.
Well done. Well done.
She really loves that movie. Alfred Hitchcock, 1963, The Birds. What a classic! It actually is, man. Birds are terrifying when you think about
Well,
it.
and the
in
fact
context.
that Alfred Hitchcock literally threw birds on the actress, live birds.
Yeah. Number 3 was House on Haunted Hill. Again, the 99 version.
Very good. Very good.
Number 2 is a very good movie. I really like this movie. It's Orphan from 2009.
That is a fantastic movie.
Has a
It's
really cool.
horrifying.
It is scary. It has a really cool twist. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
And one of the most powerful openings to any movie.
Yeah,
I've ever
man.
seen.
Yeah, man. It's a good, solid movie. You haven't seen The Orphan? It's good.
That one.
I need to.
That one, and I didn't really get to talk about this one because I think the movie itself is just okay, but the intro is just amazing. Sinister. Sinister kind of follows the same thing.
Ah, Okay. Yeah.
I know the twist ending to Orphan. I remember it now when it came
Yeah,
out.
man.
Oh, so messed up.
And her number one, which is one that I almost put on my list, it is a classic, is Carrie, the 1976 Carrie. None of the remakes.
Sissy Spacek.
Yes. That movie, if you haven't seen it, it is full-blown classic.
It is.
It is. Woo, it is good.
Pig's-
It's very, very
Pig's
good.
blood. Lots and lots of pig
Don't
blood.
watch remakes. Watch that movie.
Yeah,
It's not going to
absolutely.
hold up to an extent, but it is very good. So that's my wife's top 10. Just real fast.
All right.
Awesome.
Very good list. Very good list.
Awesome.
All right, so Eric, now we can finally start closing out this show. What's your number one?
Number one, this movie has had, I think we are up to 5 sequels now. Is it 4 or 5 sequels now?
What movie is it?
What is it again?
Paranormal Activity.
I believe they are on their
Six.
Sixth. It is the sixth.
I think it's the
Oh, wow.
6th.
Okay, here's what I have to say about this. Me and Drew kind of touched on this earlier in the show, but I believe in demons to the strongest extent. I don't care what anybody says. I have seen demons. I know they exist. The first Paranormal Activity not only deals with a demon, but a demon you never see. And as we discussed earlier, the imagination is way stronger than anything you could show or come up with and put on a screen. It is terrifying. That movie will grip you. And I don't care what anybody says. After you watch that first movie, and that first one is the only good one, it is the only one that will do this to you. Once the tricks are out of the book for that one, it's just another Paranormal Activity movie. But the first Paranormal Activity movie,
I would say the first 2, actually.
okay, that's fair. But I'm speaking very specifically about the first one here. Is the most horrifying thing for your imagination to have to deal with. When credits rolled on that movie in the theaters, I realized my back was so tense that I was sore after that movie.
Wow.
I literally sat back in my seat and I was like, God, why does my back hurt so much? Because I was just so intense. And the very last part of that film, I had trouble looking at the screen. That's how scared I was and still am of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is a terrifying, gripping film. That is a found footage film. It's been done a million times now. But it made found footage films much better than the good old Blair Witch.
Why don't we talk a little bit about found footage, just as a brief squirrel, just
Overdone.
So you believe they're overdone?
There was one that came out not too long ago that was pretty good. It was about these 2 guys that went off to go visit somewhere, and this guy gets superhuman abilities.
Oh shoot! I think I know which one.
Chronicle.
Chronicle. That was
Well, no. Well, not Chronicle. Well, Chronicle was good. There was
Chronicle's so good.
There was another one. I can't think of it. It was with some Asian guy and some white guy, and they go somewhere, and this guy gets infected. But found footage is overdone.
I feel like I'll agree with you there. It is a touch overdone. More than a touch overdone. I feel like they can be really good movies if you innovate on them.
Yeah.
Why did everybody hate The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan? Why?
Because you predicted the ending
Well,
exactly the way
I
it
didn't
was.
see The Visit, but I can tell you from the trailers, it's just corny.
Yeah.
It's just corny.
It's dumb.
It's really corny.
Really dumb.
Can we? Seriously, nobody's going to watch The Visit. Can we just go ahead and say what the spoiler is?
No, actually, no. That's still
Really?
new. That's still
Don't.
too new of a movie, man. If there's anybody listening that may have any interest that just didn't get a chance, you're ruining that for them. So no, don't do that.
Look, just your best guess is probably your right one.
But it's still a new movie.
Yeah.
It's still a new movie.
Like,
Found
it
footage.
It is very. The movie was very uninventive. It didn't do anything new.
Nope.
That's
That's fair.
all we can say about it.
Found footage, which we'll talk about that ending afterwards, because I actually don't know the twist. I'd like to know.
Oh yeah.
But found footage films, I don't think were overdone until the first Paranormal Activity actually did as well as it did.
Yes.
Okay.
Once the first Paranormal Activity came out, just talking about it, dude, gives me chills. That first movie is scary. It's terrifying. Once that came out and that hit it big, everybody else was like, crap. that's really good. Like, that's a really good found footage.
I mean, yeah,
we
it's the
need to make
reason-
a really good found footage.
It's the reason that it has 6 movies now.
Exactly.
Like it kind of followed suit of what Saw did.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
the first Saw, I will admit, is legitimately scary.
It is. It is.
It is.
Only one I've ever seen, too. The only
Good.
one I've ever seen.
It's a
Good.
good concept, executed very well,
The ending was cool.
and it was inventive.
Exactly.
It was
Inventive.
so good.
Which, I'm sorry if you haven't seen Saw by now, but I think the spoiler warning's over. When that dude stood up, that body that was laying there the whole time just stood up.
My mind got
I was
blown.
like, are you kidding me? It like drained me because I was like, what's going on? Who's doing this? And then when he stood up, I was just like, oh.
That's just
Oh my God.
it's so sad to see a series with it had potential to just kind of just
It died.
throw it all away
Like
just for blood and gore and cheap
The
thrills.
thing is, once you tell that story one time, once you try to explain something that's really mysterious until a certain point, you start to lose everything that made it good. And they tried to explain Saul too much.
Yep.
They tried to say, oh, well, this is actually the killer, and he's got a student, and this is the student. and
Yeah,
this.
another thing
I don't need all that.
They also tried to make it look like this guy had planned everything from the beginning.
Exactly.
Nobody can do that.
No,
you
not at
can't
all.
think ahead that far.
No. But found footage, which is what we went off on, really spawned some gems. And if you have not seen the first Paranormal Activity, I don't care if you're watching and you're like, oh, this is dumb. I'm a cool bro. This is just dumb, bro.
stop being basic.
But if you watch that, you will have trouble sleeping. Every noise you hear in your house will be like, whoa, what was that? what was that?
I think my neighbors are trying to kill me.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. You will be paranoid. I promise. You will be paranoid. Anyway, that's my number one, and it is a very powerful number one. And I don't hate on found footage only because we got Chronicle again. Not
Excellent.
a horror movie, but
Underappreciated
that movie
so
it is
much.
so underappreciated. That movie is so good, and I hope we get a sequel.
As bad as the reception is for it, I don't think we will.
If we don't, that's fine. We
Yeah,
got an
it's
amazing
fine.
film.
Yes.
But I would love to see another movie like that
I would
because that
too.
really touched on. And Kyle knows what I'm talking about here, but superhero stuff is kind of my thing.
Wait, is it?
And I don't mean in
With
the
the
sense
Captain
of
America
like,
shirt?
I would have never guessed that looking at your Captain
Captain
America.
But
America
no, you
shirt.
know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like, the Batmans and the Captain Americas. Like, you can bring me a superhero. You can bring me the story of somebody that you've thought of, and I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear their origin, even if you've just made up all this. Like, I want to hear their origin. I want to hear their powers. I want to hear why they are the way they are. It's really interesting. So to see a found footage movie about a kid who gets powers based off of this thing, we kind of get to see a supervillain unfold. And it's mind-blowing. It's
Yeah.
so cool. It's so cool to watch that.
They did a good job. The people they chose did a fantastic job. Michael B. Jordan is a great actor.
Yes. Paranormal Activity, number one.
All right, I dig it. All right. Well, we mentioned that when Eric was talking about The Shining, that it was also on.
I
my
feel
list
really bad
somewhere.
that it's your number one, man. I'm
It's-
sorry.
It's my number one.
I'm so sorry.
I love this movie so much.
I'm sorry.
I feel like it's the scariest thing ever. That's just me personally.
I understand.
But yeah, I respect the absolute crap out of this movie, and
Oh, yeah, I love it.
so just quick little brief summary. There's a hotel that makes daddy mad. He tries to kill family.
Best summary of The Shining I've ever heard.
Okay.
So Drew, number one, please.
Either that or Jack Nicholson goes crazy in the hotel.
Actually, that's the best description of Toy Story I've ever heard.
Okay. All right. I gotta give you that.
Wait, I was gonna say, like, did you ever hear that the carpet design in Toy Story when they're at Sid's house is the same carpet design from The Shining? Did you ever notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Next time you watch it, when they're standing on the stairs at Sid's house, it's the same carpet design from The Shining where the twins are standing.
I just want you both to know you got a friend in me.
Well, you got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
folks might be the only smiling I am.
Stop it.
Baby.
Stop it.
Okay, Drew, number one.
Stop it.
Number one.
Number one.
My number one is going to be another kind of underappreciated movie, End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Tell me a little bit about this, because I actually don't know what this movie is.
Interesting choice, going with a Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, we did on Toppers, we did kind of a top 10 horror movies. So this one I wanted to add just some fun titles in there, just for funsies. But End of Days is the story about, the new millennium is coming up. And apparently in the new millennium, there's supposed to be the birth of the Antichrist.
Y2K.
Yeah, it's Y2K. Y2K is coming up, and apparently there was a woman that's been chosen to have Satan's child. So yeah, it's a really out there movie, but it's so good. So the story is that Satan comes to New York, pretty much, and
Looking for a good time.
I was just about to say, it sounds like a romantic comedy.
I know, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and guns.
Oh my god, you really could make that a rom-com.
You could.
Holy crap.
So what happens is so this has all been pre-planned, and the guy that plays Satan is Gabriel Byrne, and his story intertwines with Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's character has just lost his daughter and his wife. He's a drunk, he's a burned-out cop, and he works in this security firm. And spoilers free here, through some turn of events, he finds out about this plot. And the whole movie is about him trying to stop Gabriel Byrne. And through it, Arnold Schwarzenegger has redemption of his soul and who he is. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And it's, like I said, it's really out there. And I have no doubts that it, offends it offends so many religious, different.
The problem is, if you're
areas.
going to watch a horror movie, you can't really be ready to be offended. Because
Yeah, I
every
know.
horror movie's going to offend you somehow.
Yeah, somehow. But
It is a genre that depends on bringing bad emotions out of
I
you.
believe incredibly strongly in demons, and that's Paranormal Activity is my favorite movie. I mean, it's a favorite horror movie, but it's yeah. I mean,
yeah, but
that movie sounds.
it is. It's
Interesting.
a very interesting movie, and it's one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies too.
Here's the only thing I don't like about everything you just said is Arnold Schwarzenegger. That sounds like a good concept for a movie until you say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know
Then it becomes an action movie.
Because then it just bothers me. It's just like that little. It's not that I have a problem with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I
Schwarzenegger,
know.
But it's just in that type of a movie, the story you just explained makes me go ooh, and then when you're like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, I go ah.
Well, that's exactly why it was not really well received. That's why a lot of people. It's not one of his.
Is he a better actor in this movie? Because I can't really put up
Yeah.
with another Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he does a really good job in this,
Wow.
and
Okay.
and it's
All right.
enough. I love Gabriel Byrne so much, and kind of a squirrel moment here. Ghost Ship with Gabriel Byrne. That's a good
Ghost
movie
Ship's
too.
a good movie. My wife's terrified of that movie.
I love that movie. Ghost Ship is a good
Ghost
scary
Ship's
movie.
a fun movie.
But
yeah.
Gabriel Byrne does a really good job in encompassing the devil. Just he brings a just deadly but suave kind of thing because it's Gabriel Byrne.
Best depiction, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. So give it a try. It's
I'll have to give it a shot, but I'll be honest with you, man. Like I said, you're not winning me over with that Schwarzenegger.
yeah. I know.
It's
I need to stop the devil.
I say yeah, exactly. Lum.
I have to go to New York to save her.
But yeah.
I just see him standing over the devil after he just punched him in the face. The power of Christ compels you.
Hasta la
man.
vista,
So,
baby.
that's interesting. I'll have to give that a shot. I'm gonna try, but I'll be honest with you, it's not looking good.
All right.
Check it out, Eric. You want
I'll
to
try, man. I'll try.
But that's my number one.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've harped on and gone over long enough for this night.
Indeed. Thank you guys so much for having me on the
Thank
show.
you.
We miss you. We love
Thank
having
you
you on
so
the
much.
show.
Thank
And
you
as
so
always,
much.
and really, thank you for covering for Brian.
Thank
No
you for covering for
problem.
Brian.
He's gone.
No
And
problem.
we'll never see him again.
Yes, we will. Don't you scare our listeners
He'll be
like
back
that.
next week.
He'll be back.
He'll be back next week.
And I'll be gone, and y'all can be like, "Oh, that fat guy's not on there anymore."
Oh, God.
Oh my god, I do.
He kept talking about counting the legs.
Oh my god.
And
Cut it
talking about-
Oh my god, it's talking about crazy stuff.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks for having me, though, for real. I appreciate it.
Yes,
I
thank
appreciate it.
you.
All right.
And thank you to you listeners that have stayed with us throughout this whole thing
Yeah,
tonight.
did this over.
Seriously.
Thanks.
We love you guys. for
Anybody
doing
still
that.
here hanging out, thanks. It's always cool, man.
Well, anyway, we will be back here Monday at 7 talking about something. I don't know. Who's talking to me about this?
I'm going to do one more quick plug.
Yeah.
What's up?
And I'm going to do it for myself. Go to youtube.com/peace for lunch. I played a lot of the Street Fighter V beta. There's a lot of beta matches getting uploaded on that Joker.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of Vega play. I played with some Rashid. Talked to you guys about that. It's really cool.
Yes.
I know the last time I was on here, I talked about Street Fighter. So there's a lot. YouTube.com/peace for lunch. Check it out. Twitch.tv/peace for lunch. I do stream often as well.
And that's peas, not
Peace. PEAS, the number 4, LUNCH.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I need to specify that. But yeah, so check that out. Have a good time. I do upload videos pretty regularly. I'm not like a big hotshot YouTuber or anything, but it's a good time. Come hang out in the streams. We'll play some 1001 Spikes and get mad together.
And as always, our show will be posted on our Facebook page, and we have off-air moments at the very end, so there's extra stuff for you guys.
There was a lot of off-air stuff in this
A lot
one,
of
too.
off-air
That'd be
stuff.
interesting for you guys, so check
Yeah.
that out for sure.
Interesting what y'all have to say about that. Anyway, well, for all of us here at WLJS and 91.9 FM, we are the United Nerds. I was this close to saying topics. Holy crap, I was that close to saying topics.
It's like he has Tourette's. He has Tourette's of saying toppers.
We are the United Nerds. I'm Kyle Holland.
Drew Moore.
Eric Curtis.
Thank you so much for listening. We love you. Oh, you're so beautiful. Here is NPR for your listening pleasure.
You're so pretty.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, music. Goodness. What you got over there, fool?
Yeah, we got good volume. Okay, so which one?
Oh, gotta plug you in? You're plugged in.
You plugged me in already, yeah.
Oh, crap, I didn't check the... Yeah, I got good, yeah.
It's good. It's loud.
Mine feels
Of course,
good.
it's music.
How are y'all coming in? How's it sound?
I'm good. Actually,
Like
turn it.
on mic?
If I turn it down
No,
just a
no,
little.
on your head.
Oh, it sounds good.
Turn it down just a
Sounds
little.
really good.
bit.
Turn down? How's that?
Perfect.
Turn mine down just a notch.
Turn it down
That's
for
good.
what?
They're just a little loud.
All right, so which one are we going to start with first? Monsters or movies?
Let's go with monsters.
Yeah,
Monsters?
we'll
Okay.
knock that out really quick. And where was you got Brian's list, right?
He hasn't texted
You
us
never
yet.
texted it yet.
You had one job. You have one job, Brian. One job.
We got about 25 seconds.
I feel Brian's presence here tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. I went to see who tagged me in one of those stupid videos like, hey, watch this.
That had to be a hack of some nature, though, right?
No, he purposely did it.
He purposefully did it?
Yeah, it pops up on my news feed, man.
I don't understand people purposely doing that.
I don't understand. It pisses me off. So yeah, it really threw me off. I'm sorry. It
Yeah,
really,
you seemed disconnected for that whole first part.
so sorry.
You alright, man?
Bring it
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
All
It's just
right?
like, what the heck, man? Do me a favor and see if my name is, if it shows up on Facebook at all.
I'll check real quick.
Yeah, just go to my Facebook and see what happens when you pull my name up. I blocked it.
I'm gonna go soda.
Soda?
Yeah, there's a vending machine.
Dadgum, you and your soda.
Love it. Love my soda. Soda drinking ways.
Okay. good. It's not there anymore. Oh,
Yeah, it looks
God.
gone. Yeah.
Thank God. Yeah, that's. I was wondering what tagged me, and it's just like, dude, man, don't do that.
That's not cool.
No, it's really not.
Say this. I think she wanted to say it on the air, but I didn't want to do it. She said, if you eat your friend Terry, it's called teriyaki. That was something my wife wanted to tell me.
Your wife's awesome.
True. You gonna close that door, homeboy? Or you just gonna leave it open?
Maybe I just want to set this stuff down.
Maybe you want to close the door
think
first.
about-
Maybe not make 2 trips.
Yeah, it
Maybe not
was,
make 2 trips.
Maybe I'm trying to get exercise.
yeah, I'm back.
Three
I'm
peanut butter cups if anybody wants some Reese's.
Oh,
I
thank
want
you. I'm
one.
fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm back now. I'm back. Good night.
Yeah, you seemed quite miffed about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
were
was.
pretty mad. Especially to mention it on the air. When you said it, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and everybody who's listening is now going to your Facebook profile.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I didn't even think about that. He's right.
Jeez.
I think I thought I
A
saw.
putty tat. Got about 30 seconds.
Cool. I was pulling up a wiki of my number 2 so I could describe it a little bit better.
Go for it.
Earlier when you were talking, I hated to be on my phone, but I was trying to pull it up
Dude.
real quick.
No shame. Alright, I'm about to bring us back in.
Cool.
Brian said we could patent that saying. Drew
I
Way.
used to. This is a fun fact. Back when Aliens vs Predator 2 came out on PC, I used to run a clan of Alien vs Predator 2. We were a clan of predators, and I had a nerd war over the internet
Really?
between an Alien fan. But we were actually playing the game, so
Nice.
every time either one of us killed the other one, it was like. And then you just see a message come back just full of hate. Is there a delay from when they hear the radio?
Yeah, we're not.
I thought there was a delay because Michelle just said the dangerous game, and I was like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, that was I'm so glad I thought of that saying. But yeah, it's fascinating stuff. I read probably hours of when they came up with like the new evidence and hours of that stuff.
Dude, man, it's crazy when they actually said they found him or whatever.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
is.
that's real history right there, man.
They didn't find him.
Sure thing,
though.
Did they not?
There's no way.
I guess I'm too
Think about it.
gullible. I'm
He
like,
either
yeah, that
died-
sounds cool.
Bring it up, man.
He either died of like syphilis or
Alright.
some really extreme
That's
STD,
true.
or he escaped to.
Extreme STD. That sounds like the name of a band. Sorry.
Be a metal band, probably.
Hey guys, we're Extreme STD. We're gonna rock you out. We're gonna transmit some disease and tunes in your. I don't know. That's
No, I was what?
I think one of my favorite things like that is it was actually a thing Rob Zombie did. I think it was nah, but he just comes out on stage. Hello, I'm Rob Zombie. We have a good collection of lesbian folk rock for you.
But no,
Oh, Rob.
no, he was asking me. We were talking about if Jack the Ripper got caught. I was like, no, so there's no way. I was like, no. I was saying to Eric, I mean, he either died of like syphilis or some like probably
Extreme STD.
extreme STD, or he escaped the country and just like that. Killing Mary was his denouement.
We ready to rock some movies?
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to talk about the prequel thing. I'm so glad that's on there. I will talk the crap out of that. Oh man.
Never mind, I'll find
Someone like you.
I wish nothing but the best.
Why'd you pick this? Just curious. This doesn't fit the theme of the show at all.
I don't know. I just was
Aren't you playing Michael Jackson's Thriller? Probably because it goes on for 8 minutes.
Yeah. I don't want to cut too much into our.
Yeah, I don't either. I agree.
Like if I had Monster Mash on here,
Oh, yeah,
you
dude.
know I would be.
I was kind of interested why he's picking Adele. I was like, when he's
guess
out of all the
I to see what he
songs,
queued up, and then when I read it, and I finally was like, Adele?
out of all the songs we played on this show, it's like, and now we're going to play Adele.
Now we're moving to Adele.
I don't know. I just
Enjoy this.
thought it would be funny if I did.
No, I am. It'll be a great gag for the show.
Oh man, this is gonna sound great.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
And it's going on there because
Get ready
we're recording
for
everything.
that. I've been hitting the table a lot, so I'm sure the mic's getting a lot of grrr.
I haven't really heard that on the
No.
thing, so.
No, I'm talking about this.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of like dampening stuff at the bottom of it, but you do still hear a whole lot on that mic.
Yeah. It's all good though.
So, sorry about
Hopefully it
this.
isn't too bad.
Sorry about this, guys.
Sorry.
Oh.
As I
15
say,
seconds.
we have circles.
I'm gonna mention that about Adele. That's hilarious.
Oh, and Brian wanted me to mention something about Most Dangerous Game, so that'll be a thing.
Cool.
I don't care if we go overtime. We got some fun crap to talk about.
As I say, we are running behind.
We are,
But
but I don't think anybody comes on after us.
no, they don't. So we'll be fine. And we're talking about some good crap. We got
I
some
agree.
good stuff.
I
going.
agree.
But no, it's
Brian finally sent his list.
I feel like we'll tackle his list real quick at
Oh.
the end.
And
Tackle
your
this
list.
list real quick at the end.
That was what I was gonna do.
yeah.
We got Van Helsing, Frankenstein, the Boris Karloff movie.
Van Helsing? That's not a horror movie.
It's a
Bela
Oh.
Lugosi's Dracula, the original Poltergeist, and then Psycho.
I have yet to see the original Poltergeist, but I'm just kind of scared too. I'm just kind of like
Psycho. It's talking about.
Alfred
Alfred
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
Okay, no, I think I'm thinking of American
You're
Psycho.
thinking of Christian Bale.
Yes. You want to talk a horror movie?
American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean American.
No,
Psycho.
American Psycho.
Oh.
American Psycho.
I have to return
Yes.
some videotapes.
So good. What?
I gotta go return some videotapes.
To who?
I gotta go return some videotapes. It's American Psycho, man. Come on.
Oh. I thought you were being serious. I was like, taking you seriously here.
Have you ever heard of Huey Lewis in the news?
You ever heard of Huey Lewis in the news?
He's so weird at that.
Well, you know what's interesting is like I think I read somewhere where he tried to incorporate a little bit of that into the character of Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do we all feel about Christian Bale as Batman while we have 2 minutes?
Love him. Just,
You liked it a lot?
yeah.
Really, really A plus for
I
you?
like him as Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Batman, he is ridiculous.
Ridiculous?
This city is a savior.
If you were Batman, okay, let's just take this and say you were Batman. Would you just talk like you?
I can understand it.
Would
to a
you just
point.
talk like you?
You know, Michael-
yes or no? Would you
Okay.
just talk like Kyle
No,
talks?
but here's the thing.
Okay.
He does it to people who knows that he's Bruce Wayne.
I'd agree.
Because he still has to be Batman when he's in the suit. It doesn't matter.
I caught that in Dark Knight Rises when I was like the third or fourth time watching it through. I was like, why is he?
But because you have to stay in character. You can't cross paths. You cannot cross the streams.
That's
Don't
true.
ever do it.
It's true because it would
So
it
when
would
you're
lose
dressed
the
up,
Imagineer. Yeah.
let's say you're talking to Gordon, somebody comes upstairs, and they're like, "Hey, is that Bruce Wayne?" Oh, no! So you gotta talk like Batman all the time if you're in the Batman suit.
That's
This
great.
reminds you of the Game Grumps thing. What's your password?
Yeah,
Batman.
Batman,
Batman.
Batman.
Give me some more ice
Could you
tea.
give me some more iced tea? Batman. I can't pass you that mustard.
It's like I can't reveal that I'm Batman, but he needs that mustard.
Yeah. But no, everybody that gave him crap for that voice, I was like, if you were Batman, you wouldn't just be like, "Hey, I'm Batman. I'm the night. I'm the dark knight, and I'm Batman."
kind of, you know what?
Well,
I will say
I can understand that. Like, I don't have a problem with a voice to a point. Like, if you're trying to disguise your voice, that's one thing.
He went.
Yeah, and plus, it also scares the crap out of some people. Oh, we got about a minute. And it scares the crap out of people.
Exactly, it's fear-inducing. He has to have something that's not only sounding like a different person, but it has to be scary too.
He did it to an extreme, is what my take on it. But Michael Keaton did a more laid back.
Michael Keaton is he was a good Batman, but he did do more laid back.
Yeah.
I actually loved Christian Bale's voice.
The movie was more laid back.
I loved Christian Bale's Batman voice. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I feel like the more the movies went on, the more he played it up. Like, he realized how...
Well, he realized he was Batman.
By the third one, yeah.
If I realized I was Batman too, I'd be like...
15 seconds.
I need to put my slippers on.
10 seconds.
Alfred, get my pajamas.
Master Bruce, why are you talking like that?
Because I have been feeling this so long.
You're just such a whiz, Kyle.
Is it really okay that we're going to run a little long?
Yeah, man, nobody comes in after us. On toppers, like, we would run over so much.
What's Toppers?
Our show that we did before.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. No, we run over all the time. The guy, Billy, was like...
Oh, yeah, Billy. I know Billy.
But Billy was like, yeah, he's like, y'all run over time. Nobody's coming after you. He's like, y'all could go to midnight if you wanted to. I was like... Little thing is we could. We definitely could. Yeah, Tucker and Dale, man. Dude, when that guy... Oof. I mean, there were some times where I was like, okay, I'm getting a little freaked out here.
Yeah, man, like,
What happens to his face again? Sometimes, well, here comes Kyle, but what happens to his face? He gets what?
It's burned, I believe.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
I'm not completely sure. I can't remember.
I don't know, but
it's been a while since I've seen
But I
it.
saw him, I was just kind of like, "Yay!"
And it's scary, too. Like, it's not just
Legit
like
scary.
Yeah.
That's
Tucker and Dale.
Tucker and
We
Dale.
don't spoil anything for you.
The end. Well, I'm going to have to edit that. To edit that.
But I have these mics off,
Yep.
but not that one.
Don't worry, it's going to be very much edited.
Hi, everybody who's listening to the podcast.
Yeah, that'll definitely be on.
Baby, take my... Baby, I'm your man.
See, I wasn't sure earlier when he said the take my hand part. That's why I just went, Awesome. I wonder if her friend's still over at the house.
Yeah, what do they say about the show? Are they enjoying it?
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, ultimately, that's my thing about the purchase. I wish people wouldn't be so just,
Like, one way or the other, man.
As soon as you said it, as soon as Kyle started talking about how he felt, his body language shifted. And I was like, oh man, I'm just going to sit back here and just watch.
I'm so freaking done with that movie.
When I was watching it last night, I was like, that is pretty stupid that, it's not totally, they can't, they can still get in here. And the system isn't totally flawless. It's like, wow. And why in the world?
And apparently everybody you know is secretly
Wanting
a
to kill you.
murderer on the inside. Every single person ever. Oh, and also, because The Purge was enacted, crime just completely is gone. Like, robberies are gone. Money fraud is gone. Everything.
That's a whole nother crap.
It is a whole level of stupidity that nobody talks about. Like, really?
The cyber. I didn't even think about that. The amount of cyber crimes that would be going on.
Yes. It's like, oh, we all just have a beast inside us. Really? Is that what you're gonna try to say, movie?
I love what you say. Explain, movie.
Explain.
Yeah.
We got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We know, Eric.
calling it out. I can see Kyle over there being like, birds! The freaking birds, man!
It amazes me.
Oh, man. Golly. Oh, we're having fun tonight. Thank you for coming on the show, Eric.